The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Winter's arrived, and with the holidays around the corner, it's the perfect time for Standard Heating's Black Friday Comfort Countdown specials. And right now is the time to become a Smart Club member and get your furnace in top shape before winter comes. Visit standardheating.com today. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93
Show is on the air. 2 are bald and 3 have hair. When you tune in on the radio dial, there'll be something gross and vile. Half-Ass Morning Show is on the air. 2 are bald and 3 have hair. When you tune in on the radio dial, there'll be something gross and vile.
We want to thank Chad Kroeger and the rest of Nickelback for that intro song. Don't we, Cubby?
Sounded a lot like him, didn't it? It
Yeah.
also sounded like the guy from Shinedown.
Yep.
His name escapes me.
His name is also Chad Kroeger.
That is really strange.
Just getting her going here. Good morning, folks. Welcome to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Welcome to, I guess, our first real shot of winter. Cubby, if I were a lawyer, I'd just be standing in our icy parking lot this morning waiting for my first customer.
You know, I'll tell you what, that's the only trouble I had. And I know, we were talking about this a little off the air, and I'm mostly main streets on the way to get here. So everything was, thank you to the plow guys and gals. It was all good for me, the salted everything. But you guys said you had a little trouble. You have more side streets that you take to get to the freeway.
Yeah, little sketchy.
But when I pulled in this lot, I thought all the ice in Minnesota landed right here. That was insane.
That's fun. But you got to be careful. She's slicker than snot out in our parking lot. Someone please warn our guests this morning. We don't need any broken bodies on our conscience this holiday season. Our guest this morning at 8:20, Dr. Andrea Johnston, veterinarian from German Animal Hospital. She shall return this morning, and she'll help you out if you have any house pet questions about the health of your pets. She's proved to be a hell of a fun guest here on our program, and we look forward to rapping with her again today. A little before 9 a.m., 2 of the Rick's Cabaret girls that you can put through college tomorrow at our Toys for Tatas Toy Drive will be stopping by the studio. Cherry Bomb and BB Gun.
Sounds like we're in some danger.
Sounds like the best 4th of July ever.
Isn't there a "We Ban Guns" in this building sign out front, I thought?
Yep.
Stripper names have changed.
Yeah, they're
It
a
used
little
to
more
just be-
scary now.
It used to be all cars.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, Ferrari up on stage. There's Mercedes.
Porsche.
Now it's, a little more intimidating. Cherry Bomb and BB Gun will stop by, and we'll talk about tomorrow's festivities over there at Rick's Cabaret, starting early at 6 a.m. As I was thinking about our visit from the Rick's girls this morning, I got to thinking about one of my favorite strip joint stories, and that would be some fellers were front row skis. I don't know. Some folks call it sniffers row.
It's the worst term, but the best term.
Some fellers were front row, Josh, and they had their bottles of beer in front of them. And one of the gals, one of the strippers came over, and you've probably seen this trick before. She got down on her knees, and she bent smooth over and just inhaled one of the bottles of beer. Just,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I'm talking about? Little simulated oral sex. Who doesn't enjoy that at the Boom Boom Room? So she, bends at the waist, goes down, deep throats that bottle of beer in front of one of the boys, and then whips her hair back, and she's chugging the contents of the bottle now.
Oh,
That's
you got to be
impressive.
careful.
And the crowd says, "Yay!" until the crowd and the girl realized it was full of chew spit.
no.
Oh, did she upchuck on stage?
Everything but.
Oh, man.
Did your buddies tip her extra
Well, these weren't my buddies. This was a story.
Sorry. I thought you said they were your buddies.
No, this was a story I heard years ago, friend of a friend of a friend type of a situation. I don't know how much money they got out, but they said she battled like a sumbitch not to vomit, but there was coughing, there was spitting, there was retching, there was dirty looks. The boys...
She's a pro.
Louder than hell in there. The boys did say that as soon as she went down skis on that bottle, a couple of them said,
Yeah.
you can't get the words
Yeah.
out. No.
She did it.
She wasn't listening, wasn't able to hear them because, of course, Warrant or something was cranking in the back. So,
Why is the music so loud at strip clubs? Maybe because you don't want other guys talking to you or something like that? I've never been in one where you can have a conversation.
If you
it's
make
so
the
loud.
music super loud, then you can't hear your own thoughts telling you, like, oh, what am I doing here?
I should
point,
not get
actually.
another lap dance.
I never considered,
I can't afford this.
I never explored why the volume levels have to be peaked. But there you go. Tomorrow's a big day. Everyone better get their 8 hours tonight.
I had a few people yesterday say they might be first-timers tomorrow, that they've been wanting to go for a long time, and it just so happens like a buddy of mine said his wife brought it up.
Rookies, eh?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
My wife even mentioned it yesterday, and I said, oh, yeah, we're not allowed to bring family members.
Good call. Good call.
She's like, I've never gone. I should go. I'm like, yeah, it's like a corporate thing. They
Bummer.
said family members, especially wives, can't go.
We'll miss her.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we'll miss her.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There might be some rookies. Well, that's exciting. They need to be hazed.
What do you suggest?
Tell you what, I'll fill up a beer bottle with chew spit. I don't know, just a good beating in the back where no one's looking, I guess. They got to pay for a few of our drinks, pay for a few of our lap dances. A rookie's always going to spend a little more money than a regular.
Well, I told my friend that said it was his wife's idea. I said, I'll have to buy her a couple of dances. And then I wondered, is that inappropriate for a friend to say that to another friend about his wife?
No.
And is that okay to say?
I think that's an okay thing to say.
Yeah, I think he said she'd probably love it.
If you're a first-timer, just bring a few more bucks.
Josh, if you offered to pay for them and then you said, yeah, that'd be really fun to watch. I can't wait to see that. Then it would be weird.
Josh is standing there watching the lap dance happen.
I think I might have said something like that. Just to see, crap, I think I might have said something like that. God darn it.
No one's going to hold that against you, Josh.
Yeah, I didn't mean it in a inappropriate way.
They know you better than that. They know you're not an inappropriate guy.
Yeah.
So I would say if you're a first-timer, go to the bank. Because the
You need
rookies
20s and ones.
The rookies are going to spend a little more money. We're going to put you through the ringer simply in that aspect. Also makes me think about now this was a group of my buddies who went down to Florida, probably for golf or something boring like that. But they ended up going to one of the more, popular joints down there. And one of my pals ducked out the side door so he could have a puffy puff, a breath of fresh air.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, a little puffy puff, little breath of fresh air for one of my bros. And he's out there enjoying his cigarette. And some other pal from that crew also stepped outside and said, You don't happen to have an extra $500, do you?
Wow.
There's a question you're likely only going to hear at the strip joint. Do you have an extra $500? And my pal said, Normally a buddy asks for a 20. $500? No, I don't. You know me better than that. But he was
grip.
The other guy was looking for a real special show that evening. No, my
Sounds
friend.
like VIP prices.
Yeah.
Did not have an extra $500 at the ready.
Yeah, you hear that at the strip club and the casino.
Yeah.
Our former coworker notoriously spent somewhere in the neighborhood of $3,000 or maybe a little more. That's the most I've ever heard from, like a non-celebrity type person.
Oh yeah, one of my old drinking bros was just notorious at the Boom Boom. Probably right around between 3 and 5, I think, is the most that I've seen him spend, in person. I've heard some other stories, but in person, when he and I were there together, I think between $3 and $5 grand is the most I've seen him spend. A lot of it was just not thinking clearly. Sitting down at a table, one girl stops by, and he says, "Do you want a shot? You want a shot?" And, of course, she says, "Sure." Well, what he doesn't understand is that 9 times out of 10, they're going to order the most expensive shot on the menu. I'm not trying to ruin anyone's image,
I didn't know that.
But strip joints are about making money, right? And if you're going to be foolish,
I never thought of that.
yeah. So he doesn't think of that. So when the first girl says, "Well, sure, I'll take a shot," then he's going to offer it to a few other girls that pass by. We're having a shot over here. Would you girls also like that? The next thing you know, there's 10, 12 of the girls sitting there at the table. He's buying all of them shots, and all of them are going to be the most expensive shot on the menu. And there's a pile of money right there. But also, I don't want to make it seem like he's being treated unfairly. He also, a lot of the money he spends is 100% just his own fault. He just gets wrapped up in the fun, and that's the beautiful thing. It is fun, and it is fun to get carried away once in a while.
Oh, yeah, I love to see it when people are having a great time. Like Ashley, that's the most fun I've ever seen anyone ever have. And that was the first time you were at a strip club?
Yes,
I've never seen that look on anyone's face. You were so excited.
Yeah, this is the one time I ever go to strip clubs is for Toys for Tatas. So
Me too.
Yeah, it's like my once a year happy day. It's like going to Disney World.
Just a little more topless?
Yeah.
Tomorrow's going to be special. All right, what else is going on around here? Since tomorrow is our big holiday kickoff party, I suppose we can start talking more and more about the holiday season. Did you know this, Josh? In Japan, they eat KFC on Christmas.
That's pretty cool.
That sounds lovely.
I want to eat
I know,
KFC
like
on Christmas.
A lot of the fast food restaurants, they'll have kind of like their ugly Christmas sweaters and things like that.
Yeah.
It's very, very popular now in Japan to eat KF by damn C on Christmas. That sounds absolutely terrific. Started in the 70s, I guess. KFC launched some kind of a Christmas campaign, and now it's so popular, people pre-order their chicken months in advance. Wow.
That's so cool.
Good for them.
Don't forget to pre-order the chicken, hun.
Did you get all the sides?
Well, what
Damn,
is it now? Popeyes is doing turkeys. You could get turkeys from Popeyes
No
for
way.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I know there's certain places where it's kind of the same. If like for your Easter ham or your Thanksgiving turkey, you got to get in there months ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was the coolest information. That's likely the coolest information I'm going to see all day.
Well, what about the Iceland information? I thought that was
I didn't
pretty
think that was
interesting.
nearly as interesting. In Iceland, they eat fermented shark.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it's like it's
Yum.
It's not because they love it. It's a challenge because
Yeah.
of how stinky and gross it is.
Ugh.
So it's like
Merry Christmas.
like their lutefisk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I like lutefisk.
I do too, Josh.
Never had it.
I
think
haven't.
it's fantastic.
I haven't had it in decades, but you'll always remember the smell.
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure. You know if there's
That's for
lutefisk
sure.
wherever you are.
Yeah, you don't want to mix lutefisk with the mistletoe around Christmas. That's a bad combo.
Yeah, and that smell will linger for days. But that's, I guess, what makes it so special and memorable. Fermented shark, huh? Yeah. It's become, like Josh said, a survival challenge type of a vibe. No thanks on the fermented.
Yeah, I'll pass on that too. I've never been anywhere that I know of that they served shark. Has anyone done that?
They don't let me in places that fancy.
No,
I don't think I have.
It'd have to be, like you said, pretty fancy, right?
I guess,
Yeah.
or like maybe
Or down south.
Yeah, somewhere different.
If they
Florida.
ever had shark on the menu, Josh, I was unaware of it.
I'd try
totally.
it.
You weren't impressed, but that was to me that was kind of surprising. That's your Christmas fare, like it's a gross out contest.
I hear you.
Who can puke first at Christmas?
Here's some really gross shark. Merry Christmas.
I've been fermenting it for days.
Ew.
I mean,
Mindot Jesus ate fermented shark in Iceland and said it's absolutely disgusting.
well, then what happens? I mean, once you're sick, you just go the rest of the night without eating, I would imagine, because, you probably... So that's it? Your memory of Christmas is vomiting and feeling like garbage for 10, 12 hours?
Yeah.
Then we did the ornament exchange.
Yeah, that reminds me of when some of my family members thought it was a good idea to do like the one chip challenge on Christmas Eve.
Oh, yeah, that's a good way to ruin your Christmas.
On
Yeah.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
Why?
I thought, why would you ruin the rest of your night? And it did for two of them. Two
So
of
they
them
went-
struggled all night.
They went through with it.
Yeah. Stupid idiots.
Of course.
Merry Christmas.
A lot of us are going to get as drunk as humanly possible come Christmas or Thanksgiving, whichever one, maybe both. One of my pals, and he's one of these guys, Josh, that we're envious of because he really just has no shame, feels no guilt, no regrets. He and his brother-in-law on Christmas Eve, came back. They're all staying at somebody's house. All the family is staying together. I believe my buddy was staying at his in-laws' house. And he's a grown man at this point. He's not a kid. This is only, 7, 8 years ago. So he's in his friggin' 40s. He and his brother-in-law go out and get awful drunk, come back to his in-laws' place, and they, because of their drunkenness, they wipe out a massive platter of food that was in the refrigerator waiting for Christmas Day.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yum.
They wipe that out, and then my pal falls off his bar stool and puts a hole in the sheetrock with his head. That's where he spends the night, on the floor. Wakes up the next morning, his mother-in-law is furious. There's a hole in the wall, and a big portion of our Christmas dinner is missing. Not missing, they knew where it was, has been devoured the night before.
There goes the green bean casserole.
And he tells the story. He tells the story with just like a vibe to it. Dude, come on. You've ruined things to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Do you understand that you've ruined things?
Waking up and seeing that would be so disappointing.
Yeah,
Oh.
because you're working all day
Yeah.
trying to get everything ready, and then you go to bed late at night. and
Yup.
then, okay, now I got to get up early in the morning.
You're so confused.
Yep.
What happened?
All right, go ahead. What is the number one topic that can start a fight at family holiday get-togethers?
Easily politics.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Easily. No
right.
comparison.
That's right. 40% of families have holiday fights.
My family's pretty good for one every year.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Well, if we piled in more people, obviously the odds are going to go up. But, the last 10, 15 years, we usually only have 5, 6 people. You know what I mean? It's not like we have cousins and here's grandma and grandpa. And the more people you pile in, the odds are better. We usually only have 5 or 6 of us, so the odds are with us that we're not going to start an argument. We just want to wipe out some food, couple of beers, couple of laughs, and everyone goes their separate ways. So your family, you said, Ashley, manages to have a holiday fight?
Yeah, at least somebody is angry for a little bit.
Is it stuff that's been carried over? Because that's got to be big, too.
Yeah, that's usually it.
Like
it's never
reoccurring fights. You've had this fight before.
Exactly. It's never something like fresh and new. It's always, why would you bring that up?
Can you give us an example?
I guess there was a big one. It's usually my brothers. My brothers are D-bags. And so
I have that same problem.
And so it's always
between them, so it's your brothers fighting each other?
Yeah, or like somehow like they involve my mom, and my mom somehow gets blamed for something that she had nothing to do with. poor mom.
All right, so politics is the number one topic that can start a fight, followed by family dynamics and past grievances. So ongoing things that have been brewing and then bubble over.
I have seen that. Oh, that was brutal last year. My ex's family, it was bad.
Is it kind of fun at the same time? Like, Wapple, when I'm not involved, I'm kind of like, ooh, all right.
But I had to be like the mediator and settle everyone down.
Ick.
It was bad.
Ick.
Next up, relationships and finances will cause a family argument. It says here, so try to avoid phrases like, you know, that wife of yours is why you don't have any money.
Do not say something like that.
Yeah, why would you get involved?
I would lose it if somebody. Who do you think you are?
It's so none of your business.
That's so weird.
Is it like someone just jealous because they got an amazing, expensive gift or something?
Yes.
And then like a backhanded comment like that?
Relationships and finances, okay? Okay, what does this say now? Arguing about those things is usually pointless. Okay, well, we can all agree with that. Arguing about politics, arguing about relationships, finances, all that, pointless.
I'd agree, or I would argue that it's always, not usually, pointless. If there's a chance you're having like some healthy discourse and maybe things get a little heated, but somebody says, you know what, that's a point I hadn't considered before. I appreciate you sharing that. I don't see that happening anymore. Now it's you're one side or the other, and it doesn't matter what anybody says, you're not going to listen.
Okay, and here's where the article goes from here. Here's where it closes out. Arguing those things is usually pointless, but here's another reason to avoid them. There's a 1 in 3 chance it becomes a war. A third of holiday fights end up escalating into lasting rifts that can impact relationships for years. Well, sure. It's tough. In my family, there are relatives, and I'm sure this isn't original by any stretch, but I'm just speaking from my own experience. In my family, there are fully grown, beyond grown folks who just refuse to communicate with each other because of a falling out. They refuse day after day, month after month, year after year to communicate with each other or be in the same room with each other. It's friggin' sad. I personally, I cannot believe how long some people can hold a grudge.
Well, and this year I'd imagine will be especially bad just because of, an election year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's going to be...
I'm so thankful that my family, I can't think of one member of my immediate or extended family that is political in any way. So I consider myself so lucky. You're right, Josh, because of the recent election, because you've got those types where politics is now their identity, where they just can't help themselves. My God, how miserable that must be.
Yeah, my family's the exact same way. Not political at all. And for the Wapple side, we have a huge Christmas. It's all my cousins, my grandma, second cousins. It's nuts.
And I can't think of one member of my family aside from me that's not very political. very political.
He's right. He's not kidding.
So yeah, it's like, and there's not a lot of middle ground, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm over here talking about how miserable it is, and you're thinking, that's my friggin' reality.
Oh, man.
You're about the only one who doesn't just stand right on top of their political party and defend it at all costs.
oh yeah, I can listen to what anybody says and go, oh, that person has a point. There's a counterpoint right there, and I'm not going to get passionate about it.
And it happens
doesn't. Oh God,
on
constantly.
holidays regularly?
all the time.
That sucks.
I mean, because it's not something where, sometimes you bite your tongue, right? Like, it's not worth getting into it. I disagree.
Oh.
I don't really need to get involved, but oh boy, there's a lot of folks in my family that they cannot sit there.
I would not wish that on damn near anybody. One of my oldest pals, his mother is one of those wildly political people, and we see more and more of them these days. Everyone knows that. His mother is wildly political. Every effing thing that happens to her or anybody else, she's going to pinpoint a politician or a policy. It's just so dumb. So they go to this family reunion every year, 5-6 hours away. Here's my buddy. Every year he's got to drive his elderly mother to this family reunion. And a number of years ago, his mother is infamous for almost immediately starting a political argument at the family reunion because that's just all she knows how to talk about. It's her favorite thing to talk about. She wants to argue up and down about every president and all that crap. So, but my buddy finally drew the line. And this is 5-6 hours away that they drive together. And he said, Mom, this year, if you start a political argument at the family reunion, I'll leave you there. And she said, "Well, it's your Uncle Roger." And he said, "I don't want to see. That's not the response I'm looking for. I don't want you to sit here now the whole car ride up there and blame everyone else because he's a member of that political party. That's not what I'm going for. I'm telling you, if you start a political conversation or argument, I will leave you there." Sure as hell, 2 hours into the party, he overhears her saying, "Well, the president," and he left her ass there.
5 hours away.
She had to find a ride back to the cities. And good
Incredible.
for him. Good for him. I don't care how old you are. You were warned.
I will say that it is entertaining how some people are able to blame a president or a certain, like a different political party for something that you like. There's no way. No way you can pin that on that person. Whether you like that particular politician or not,
right?
It's entertaining. Sometimes, like, there was just something, and I can't really get too detailed here, and I apologize, but somebody had told me, it's so-and-so's fault for this particular thing, and I had to know. Okay, how do we get there? This is fun.
Give me the connection from A to Z.
And by the way, let me just say that connection didn't work for me.
Nope.
I wasn't buying that at all.
Oh. It's beautiful. All right, again, winter giving us our first shot to the nuts this morning. If you're dealing with slick roads, by God, be careful. Hang on to something. And we will be welcoming in some guests this morning around 8:15, 8:20. Dr. Andrea Johnston from German Animal Hospital. Talk about our pets. And before we go at 9, the girls from Rick's Cabaret. So that ought to be a hell of a deal. Appreciate you joining us. We'll take a break, come back with the stupid news here in a few minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
It is that time of the year at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Winter's arrived, and with the holidays around the corner, it's the perfect time for Standard Heating's Black Friday Comfort Countdown specials. And right now is the time to become a Smart Club member and get your furnace in top shape before winter comes. Schedule your tune-up, boost your indoor air quality, or grab huge deals on a new system. Do not wait. Visit standardheating.com today. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are the things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
O'Shea Jackson Jr. and TJ Jefferson bring their unique take on sports entertainment with no contest wrestling, with guests like CM Punk.
And I'm parked right next to the TV truck, and it's just Steve Austin's head looking at me. Just like, take a picture, sent it to Steve. Yeah. You know what I mean? He hit me back with a WTF, kid.
Well, first of all, that's amazing. That's sick. Come on.
Yeah, like this is just, just literally trying to be in the moment.
The No Contest Wrestling Podcast, part of the Rich Eisen Podcast Network, wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Josh, you were here a few minutes ago. We were talking about the holidays.
Yep.
It's the holiday season. Andrew Dice Clay, legendary comic, on his 1990 hit record, The Day the Laughter Died. He has a great bit on the holiday season. I recommend that if you got some free time.
That's pretty much all you can say on it, I think. Some of the things he gets excited about on the holidays.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He has a different experience during the holiday season. But check that out. The Day the Laughter Died, Part 1. That's from The Day the Laughter Died, Part 2. I'm not kidding you. That routine right there, yeah, that's Part 2. I'm talking about Part 1. Anyway. Oh, man. But we were talking about the holidays.
Patang.
What the hell was that?
Patang.
Patang.
Oh, sure. Family holiday traditions, family holiday arguments was part of our conversation. Here's a text message from Backyard Haircut Jesus. He said a few years ago his mother banned talking about hockey at Christmas gatherings because, according to Backyard Haircut Jesus, because my sister is a huge Maple Leafs fan and I am not a stupid moron.
Oh, that's kind of fun, though.
Your sister's a Maple Leaf. You know, Dana hates that when someone just ups and becomes a sudden super fan of a random team that plays far away from your hometown. Drives you nuts, doesn't it?
Very frustrating.
And how about this? Yes, Josh.
I was going to ask Dana, so in your household, you recently moved in with your fiance.
Yeah.
She's a huge Vikings fan.
Huge.
Does she give you crap about that, or does she...
No, she just likes that. It makes me happy.
What if they meet in the Super Bowl?
The house would burn down. There would be no survivors.
Because you're passionate about the Bills. She's honestly, would there be a little rivalry?
Oh,
there?
yeah. If they ever met in the Super Bowl, or they are playing here next season, the Bills are playing at U.S. Bank Stadium next season, we already decided we're not going to the game together.
So you got that figured out.
But for the most part, I mean, the Bills and Vikings, unless they meet in the Super Bowl, they're kind of harmless. Like she said, she wouldn't have dated me if I was a Packers fan, for example.
The fact that you already know that the Buffalo Bills are playing here in town next season makes you my least favorite couple in town.
How do you know that? I thought they didn't. They have already released a schedule.
Well, we don't know the date yet, but we know which teams will be playing. You know, the non-divisional teams. Obviously, the Packers and the Lions and the Bears play here each year, but they know that they play the AFC East next year. And
least favorite couple.
And the Bills will be here in town.
I love it.
All right. We learned earlier that in Japan, it's become very popular in Japan for families to enjoy KFC as their Christmas meal. They order it months ahead of time. They just love the stuff. And I think that sounds like a lot of fun. NWO Jesus texted in. Now, he's from the country, Josh, of Wisconsin.
Country of Wisconsin.
And he says his family, many, many years, made KFC their Christmas dinner, and he said they'd wash it down with gallons and gallons of chocolate milk.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
That sounds like, just childhood heaven.
I was going to say, the schools that have like a Taco Bell or a KFC or something in it, I've heard about schools like that. That sounds like what you'd order in high school.
Mm-hmm. And, as an adult, I would really, really enjoy that. I love, like everyone else with any taste at all, love KFC. and chocolate milk is still one of my favorite drinks. That sounds great, NWO Jesus. If you ever end up alone on Christmas, give us a call, and I'll allow you to bring all the food and drink.
I don't know how I forgot about this, but over the past couple years, we have so many cousins that all the cousins have to make like an appetizer or something for Christmas. And last year, one of my cousins brought White Castle sliders. That was badass.
That's clutch.
I've heard of people making the White Castle slider stuffing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Stuffing.
Yep, that's like an official thing. Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Back to the KFC in Japan, I was doing a little reading about this, and I guess when you order, it's called a party barrel. I like that term, party barrel. Yeah, we'll take one party barrel for the family, please. Thank you.
I once gorged myself on day-old White Castle sliders, leftover White Castle sliders. Josh, I gorged myself on them about an hour and a half before Curtis and I went off to see a Quiet Riot concert.
Uh-oh.
Loud riot.
Silent but deadly riot.
Let me just tell you, there was a portion of that crowd who regretted buying tickets to that concert.
Man.
So how is it on day 2? Because there's some foods I prefer on day 2.
Wonderful.
Like a lasagna or spaghetti or something like that.
It
Italian
was
food.
just as good, and I hear you on that. There are certain foods when they're left over, something happens overnight where they get even better.
Yeah.
They were.
I don't know if it's the poisons seeping in or what's
Yeah.
going on.
That's got to be it.
The
yeah.
leftover sliders were just glorious, but I'll tell you what, there was a portion of that Quiet Riot crowd who wished that Kevin Dubrow and Rudy Sarzo and Carlos Cavazzo and Frankie Benali never formed a group.
That's messed up.
Now, Sits on Baby She's has said her mother-in-law threatened not to come to their wedding if they had KFC. And then she follows it up by saying, it was tempting.
I would have
Man.
KFC just to spite her.
My sister had Famous Dave's at their wedding.
Oh,
that was sweet.
awesome.
That was cool.
There's a bit of a rivalry in my family, and it's not the political ones we were talking about, between KFC and Popeyes.
Oh,
I can't chime in because I've never had Popeyes. We have one next to us now, but they're both pretty passionate about it.
KFC is superior, especially because it's. But
It's tough to imagine it being better.
But maybe
man.
I just think it's better because KFC was like my childhood.
I love both, but I certainly know which is my favorite.
Yeah.
But, I mean, is it easy decision? for
Easy
you?
decision to make.
Yep.
All right. Let's bend the stupid news over here and give it all we got. Mentally unhinged, violent, screaming, angry, stupid people. Where would our stupid news report be without you people? I love you, and I hate you at the same time. Mostly hate. It's not even Thanksgiving yet, and people are already pulling tasers on their family members. Perfect that we were just recently talking about family arguments, holiday family arguments specifically.
I've never been armed at a family get-together.
No, that's not something that crosses my mind. A 61-year-old woman's in a far southeastern portion of our once proud United States. She goes by the name of Cheryl Hyatt. Again, she's 61 years old. She got arrested last week during a domestic disturbance. She apparently busted a spring when her fully grown adult daughter said she wanted to leave and go live with her father. Now, I can understand that being a dramatic moment if your kid is 10 and that child decides you're not the parent they want to live with. In this case, our pant-wetting mother here is 61, which I think, and Josh, you tell me, I think it's a safe assumption that her daughter has got to be 35 years old or so.
Yeah, I would think for sure late 20s, early 30s.
So why that grown adult daughter is still bouncing around between living with mom and dad, I couldn't say. But anyways, Mom, Cheryl again is her name, flipped her wig when her daughter said, "That's it, I'm going to live with Dad." All right.
I wonder what made her want to leave the house.
I can't imagine.
Sounds like a welcoming, fun place to be.
Now, so you've got this fully grown 35-year-old daughter. You've got her 61-year-old mother. Now, also, Cheryl, again, is the 61-year-old mother. Cheryl's 90-year-old mother was also there at the time. And this massive argument starts. Cheryl was so hot about the situation, she pulled out a taser and a kitchen knife. She pointed them both at her daughter and her 90-year-old mother. And she said, I have a taser, I have pepper spray. Who's first?
It's actually pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's a badass line.
Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying, I thought she had a taser and a kitchen knife. Why is Mom spinning some wild story about pepper spray? Now, I don't know. I'm not sure where she's going with that pepper spray line when she is clearly only armed with a taser and a kitchen knife. We'll just have to go ahead anyway. So again, 61-year-old Cheryl, taser in one hand, kitchen knife in the other, points them both at her daughter and her 90-year-old mother and says, I have a taser, I have pepper spray. Who wants some?
Yeah, cool line for sure. Mm-hmm. I forgot if I sent this to you, Ashley. You should check out her mugshot if you've got some time today.
Cheryl?
Maybe take a look at her mugshot.
Yeah. I'll get there in a minute. Now.
I wish I didn't.
Can I see? Please, can I see?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I have to say that I have never seen a human being that looked quite like that. That is one of the most interesting human beings I've ever seen in my life.
She looks like, some of the newer, Fury Road, like those types of... She looks like she's kind of out of one of those movies.
Something out of Texas
like a Mad
Chainsaw.
Max.
Yeah, something out of a movie. Wow.
Yeah, something.
Okay. She's got the taser in one hand. She's got the kitchen knife in the other.
I've got 2 words for you, though. I would.
No, you would not.
No, I would not.
No.
Yeah, no.
I mean, whatever. I think I've said enough. She's very original looking. Yes. Very original. Never seen anything like it in my life.
Unique.
So Cheryl, armed against her daughter and her 90-year-old mother, she also blocked the door to keep her daughter and elderly mother from leaving. And with that, the interfamilial, tri-generational showdown at the Saggy Saloon was on. Unfortunately, there wasn't much drama beyond that. I'd love to say that it went to some extreme level, especially the way I set that up right there. But it really, the daughter escaped through the garage.
Nice.
Leaving her 90-year-old grandmother to die violently.
She just left her there?
No, that didn't happen. She did leave her grandmother there. Grandma was crafty, too. She somehow snuck her Jurassic ass out the front door. No one was hurt. Happy holidays.
Shouldn't have to deal with that at 90-something.
Scurrying out the door.
But
no
that's
scurrying
disheartening.
is involved.
It's got to be disheartening when you have a couple of weapons, you got a really cool line, and it just doesn't work out.
You just get arrested.
No payoff.
Yep.
Oh,
All bark, no bite, Cubby.
I didn't consider we have 3 exits to the home.
Yeah.
I was just blocking this one.
We got the front door, we got the back door, we got the door to the garage. Crap.
Are we going to put Cheryl's mugshot on our website?
Yeah, it's up there now.
Okay, really honestly, tell me, text me, have you ever seen anyone with anything close to that appearance? I never have. And I've been around the block once or twice, Cubby. I've met a few people.
I thought of one.
You did?
Yeah. I mean, I've never met them in person, but she has a Mama June vibe.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not familiar with Mom June, but I'll have to take your word for it. Staying with the mother-daughter action, we can go this way now. A lady, also a southern gal, like in the last story, she's gone ahead and stolen her mama identity. And that's not right. Go ahead. I understand if you want to steal a few bucks out of your mama's purse when she's not looking. You want to steal a few of her cigarettes. You don't steal your mama identity. This here gal by the name of Veronica Torres, she's up to 44 years old already. She was using her mother's identity to steal thousands of dollars of hurricane relief funds. I don't exactly know how that works, and it doesn't really matter. The fun part is there were people who questioned this operation. And what I mean by that is when Veronica would use her mother's ID to snatch up the funds, folks said, wow, you look so young for 70 years old or whatever her mother's age is. And the 44-year-old Veronica would say, oh, yeah, thanks, I got Botox.
Just that easy.
Veronica's been charged with all different types of this and that. She reportedly applied for financial aid related to Hurricanes Helene and Milton, which recently is how you say it, sucked up the southeast part of our country. In her application, she claimed that she'd been forced to leave her home due to the damage caused by the hurricanes. And I believe Veronica ended up taking around $8,000 with her. She ended up taking around $8,000 with that pretend to be her mother scam. Right now, Veronica is out on bail. Fresh out of jail, California dreaming.
I don't know.
Soon as I step on the scene, I'm hearing Hoochie screaming. What do you think, Josh?
I liked it. I liked it better than the original, I'll be honest with you.
No, I mean, the thought you were ready to express live into a microphone.
I'm not a very suspicious person. I'm very trusting, usually.
Overly trusting.
Probably.
Yeah.
But there was no way I would believe this was a 70-year-old. Now, I'd be afraid to insult her, but I would definitely talk to a manager like, something's not right here. We better do a little digging. Absolutely no way.
I get it.
Yeah, she does not look 70.
Not even close.
No. Oh, God. We were talking dog walkers a few days ago, don't you know? Dog walkers, what a gig. And we've got something very similar here for our next stupid news story. We're talking about a dog sitter. If you're going to go ahead and hire a dog sitter, by God, you got to be able to really trust that person. We love our dogs. We do. Speaking of our pets, coming up this morning around 8:15, 8:20, we'll have our veterinarian friend in studio, Dr. Andrea Johnston from Gurman Animal Hospital. You can text in a question about your pets. But if you're going to hire a dog sitter, you got to be able to really trust that person. A gal, you got to go up and over, Josh, to get there. She's all the way in godforsaken Nova Scotia.
Haven't been, but I hear good things.
Oh, you have?
I hear it's beautiful.
This gal hired a dog sitter. She trusted that dog sitter. And then she learned that her dog sitter was shooting dirty OnlyFans videos in her damn house when nobody was looking.
Is that my TV?
Don't be doing that, girl. Oh, that's so gross.
Amanda LeBlanc is the homeowner's name, the lady who hired the dog sitter. Miss LeBlanc, Mrs., I should say, LeBlanc booked the dog sitter on several occasions over the summer when she and her husband were busy. She said the dogs were happy. The person was reliable. But a few weeks ago, Mrs. LeBlanc came across a video of her dog sitter on social media advertising an account on OnlyFans. And I know some of you are saying, well, what was she looking at where that video would pop up? That's her business.
Well, I was thinking maybe the OnlyFans lady used her computer, right? And so the history or whatever says, hey, you like OnlyFans? Hey, maybe she logged into the account,
That's very possible.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe she just likes going to OnlyFans.
Sure. Mrs. LeBlanc realized immediately when she saw this dirty video ad, she realized immediately the video was recorded in her house. She recognized her own bathroom right away in the video. Then she paid $8 for a month's subscription to the dog sitter's page, and she was instantly buried in dirty videos that were filmed at her damn house, the house she shares with her husband. She was very upset. Now, her husband's feelings on this really weren't mentioned in the story. You have any thoughts on why that is, Josh?
Well, that's the thing. You'd be a little more suspicious if it was the husband that found it. I'd imagine, even if he's completely innocent, trying to explain how he came across that to his wife would be uncomfortable.
Yeah, it wouldn't work at all.
I don't think he's too upset about it. Mrs. LeBlanc, the lady, she said she was upset to find videos of the dog sitter masturbating in her bathroom, posing in her pool. She said, look, everyone can do whatever they want. I don't care. People have to make money. I just don't want it done in my home. Now, before you freak out and get any funny ideas, the dogs were not in any of the videos except for one where a dog unintentionally photobombed a dildo pic.
Oh, my gosh. I bet she was terrified when she found those. Like, please don't let my animals be involved at all.
Dogs have a sense of humor, too,
Dogs find dildos funny.
Everybody does.
There's a conversation here in the story about whether or not this was a criminal act. Mrs. LeBlanc does not intend to take any sort of legal action. Again, her husband still has no comment at all.
Maybe that's how she found the link.
I don't understand your comment.
Because the husband was on there.
Could be.
He found it out.
Yeah, maybe he was using it. Right.
The dog sitter agreed to remove the videos from the website. The dog sitter talked to Mrs. LeBlanc and agreed to remove the videos. But here's what probably really has the lady pissed. The naughty dog sitter was unapologetic at first and did not seem to understand why this was upsetting.
Oh, that would tick me off
What are
so
you,
much.
Are you slow or something? What do you mean? You don't understand? Oh, no. Mrs. LeBlanc also recommended the filthy dog sitter to a handful of other local families. Their houses also appeared in masturbation videos on OnlyFans.
I can't imagine how terrible I would feel.
Yeah.
She is a hard worker.
I mean, you hire a dog sitter, you got to assume they're going to masturbate in your bathroom. That's just part of the deal.
Well, you may at least put that in the ad.
I recommended her to other people, and she was doing that in their houses because of my recommendation. I think I might pretend that I never saw the videos and just accept that she does that in my house because I would not want to tell other people about that.
Yeah, that gal I recommended to you? Check out OnlyFans. One dude who hired the same dog sitter found a video where the gal had been filming some of her porno movies in his bed.
Oh.
Yeah, see, that's even worse.
That's too far.
In his bed.
The bathroom's okay, but the bedroom, that's too far.
Yeah, that's too far.
Well, it is different.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit different.
The bedroom is too far.
Yeah.
There is a difference, a massive difference there.
I pee in that bed in the middle of the night, Wop. This person says, well, maybe the homeowner can use it as a tax write-off. The rooms were used for business purposes.
Oh, yeah.
If you got a creative enough tax person.
That's brilliant. I know guys like Josh and I, we'd give an OnlyFans lady a good hour or so to knock that off if we caught her in one of our beds making videos. And if not, maybe we'll allow another half hour. And then that's it, maybe.
We're done after that.
Done after that.
I mean, until the next time if she needs a place to do it.
What a fool I am, Cubby. I really thought that seeing massive, veiny erections drawn on books and walls and football fields and like that, I really thought that kind of comedy routine would become a thing of the past once I got out of high school. I really did.
I still find it entertaining.
Dreams do come true.
Mm-hmm. It's alive and well. It is, despite what I thought. Nowadays, people draw mega wangs with GPS. We've talked about that stuff here on our program. pilots draw them up with their airplanes. What do they call that, Josh? The contrail or whatever it's called?
That is so impressive when they do. Well, that's more like they map it out, right? So when they follow the
like the flight plan.
Yeah, how the plane flew, right? The flight plan.
Okay.
That's what it is. Not like a Skyrider or something.
Oh, but haven't we? Right, I know the difference here, but haven't we seen Skyriders do them too?
I guess I haven't. Usually the story is somebody uses a flight tracker and said, "Hey, look, they flew in a penis pattern."
Maybe the Skyrider thing was a dream, but it's really a hell of a story that this is still a solid comedy routine. I thought it would have died years ago. What we have here now then is a sand boner.
Oh.
Okay. The other day, a Reddit dork zeroed in on satellite imagery of a fat rod with nads. The sand rod. It's been carved into a sizable patch of sand on a beach down there in the southern state that I've vowed never to say out loud again in a stupid news report. But Josh can say it. What's the state?
Florida.
Someone got on some kind of a website and noticed the satellite image of this fat dong with nuts carved into a beach in that state that Josh just said. Is it on our website? Can we see this on our website?
Yes, it is.
93x.com. So now social media dorks and 8th graders in the neighborhood are all trying to figure out who the artist is. Everyone's making jokes. One person said this is a dick move. There's an argument. Is this natural or man-made? You know.
That is not natural.
No
okay. Okay.
No way.
Yeah.
I didn't see the picture. It obviously was something that a bunch of kids carved into the sand.
Oh, yeah, somebody made that.
Yeah.
It is a good 100 feet long.
Dang.
And some are saying that Sandrod Beach is the location where the volleyball scene from Top Gun was filmed back in 1986. Is that true?
I don't think that's true.
Was that Sandrod Beach?
I guess I wouldn't know.
And in a place called Boulder, Colorado, the cops are looking for someone who illegally set up smart-ass road signs all over town. So instead of, say, a typical road sign that says yield or stop ahead or whatever, these signs said things like, get off your damn phone. Slow the F down. In that case, they spelled out the glorious F word. Another sign that was put up, and quite professionally. Another sign said, don't kill any kids today.
Good advice.
Funny, but illegal. A local cop said, I'm guessing that it's a concerned citizen that's fed up with the behavior they're seeing in their neighborhood. The cop said, I definitely appreciate the gesture behind what they're intending to do, but it is a crime. Like I said, the signs look professionally made. And the transportation department down in that neighborhood had to find the hardcore tools to remove the signs from the posts. This wasn't sloppily done by 14-year-olds. Somebody knew what the hell they were doing. So these smartasses did a pro-level job in locking these signs into place. They have a good time down there in Colorado.
It looks so legit, you probably wouldn't even pay attention to it. Like it's just you know,
like any other average street sign. Yeah.
You see the speed limit, that's probably all you're looking at.
That's pretty good times right there. That's good. I'm getting closer and closer to being that slow down in my neighborhood guy. You know, I see someone whip by my house way too fast for the neighborhood, and I'm starting to inch a little closer to the door. Any day now, I'm going to bust right out that door and start shaking my fist and cursing these people out.
Oh, I'm totally that person.
It's only natural.
Yeah, my boyfriend has to talk me down.
It's only natural to become the slow down guy or girl.
Someone pulls in, and I'm like, look at her. She's always just driving so fast into her driveway. She's going to hurt somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I can picture you yelling at somebody to slow down when they drive by the block, and your boyfriend just has that secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah, definitely.
There goes She-Hulk again.
Oh, wow.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
I'm glad I walked in when I did so our players can see that nobody cares, man. We up here crying outside, and we got a fun. Let's go have a party in here. It's not you guys; it's everybody.
She got a little tongue twisted there.
What happens when you're really, really, really mad?
I hate when that happens when I'm mad too. You just feel so dumb.
Kind of takes the sting away.
Yeah.
She was awful mad, and I feel for this lady. This is I should say, the head coach of the Syracuse Orange Women's College Basketball Club. She goes by the name of Felicia Leggett-Jack, and she lost her cool after her club lost a home game. She's going after the lack of support for her ball club.
I had just spent time with this woman for the first time.
Yeah. Fun.
It sounded like me.
You know what? It kind of did.
Wow, that sucks for her because people are going to be picking on her, including ourselves. That's got to be a regular part of our program, that little. She was going after the lack of fan support for her ball club. I guess no one goes to the ball games at one point or another. It's just interesting to hear a coach be totally honest about it. A lot of coaches would candy coat the situation somehow that no one's coming to their ball games and no one cares. This gal just said, F it, I'm going to talk about it. Nobody cares about our program, she said. Nobody cares about women's basketball. That's a little bit of an overstatement, especially after the last couple of years, but I understand she's mad. The fan base is like 12 people here, she said. This is ridiculous. Anytime you want to dump that little, that's fun.
Fun.
It kind of sounded like, in Men in Black when the dude gets his body taken over by the alien.
Oh, my gosh. Yes. Perfect.
More sugar, less water.
Yeah, her tongue was just battling with the roof of her mouth right there. Hey, both of our big-time professional winter ball clubs are up in Canada tonight. Just ass-deep in koala bears and shrimp on the Barbie. The Pigs are in Edmonton starting at 8 o'clock tonight to play the Oilers. And before that, the Timberwolves in Toronto to play the Raptors. That's a 6:30 game. Randy Shaver going to swing by here in a half hour. Stick around. Josh's news report is right around the corner.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
It is that time of the year at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Winter's arrived, and with the holidays around the corner, it's the perfect time for Standard Heating's Black Friday Comfort Countdown specials. And right now is the time to become a Smart Club member and get your furnace in top shape before winter comes. Schedule your tune-up, boost your indoor air quality, or grab huge deals on a new system. Do not wait. Visit standardheating.com today. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with AutoQuote Explorer to compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all at once. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Welcome to Talkville, the ultimate Smallville rewatch podcast. So now Clark knows that Lionel knows about his powers. Tom, any memories from this scene?
No, but I saw a missed opportunity in watching it when Lionel puts his hand on Clark at the end and says, "Thank you, son." I wish I would have done something like, "Don't call me son." I just feel like we missed that beat.
What's that, Leslie Nielsen?
Airplane?
Surely you can't be serious. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Talkville, wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
Very emotional. Yeah. Today was bad. Last night it was just more I can't believe it just happened. And today was face reality.
Employees at the Red Fox Tavern near Lakeville are reeling after a harrowing armed robbery late Monday night that left them shaken. The incident unfolded about 10:21 p.m. at the restaurant in Newmarket Township. This kind of crime is deeply unsettling for our community, said the sheriff. A suspect dressed in black with a mesh mask, coiled plastic beard, and gray hoodie entered the restaurant just after the last customers left. Armed with a 9mm handgun, he confronted the two employees working that night, demanding cash. The suspect also confiscated their phones and repeatedly aimed his gun at them during the 15 to 20-minute robbery before fleeing on foot. In a Facebook post, one of the employees recounted the ordeal. The The robber forced them to zip tie their arms and duct tape their legs. Then the employee noted the suspect's outfit bore an uncanny resemblance to a character from the 1987 Star Wars parody Spaceballs. Not trying to be funny, but it reminded me of Rick Moranis in the movie they wrote.
Make way for Dark Helmet. All rise in the presence of Dark Helmet.
I can't breathe in this thing.
There's a few movies that I've seen more than any regular person should ever see, and that's one of them. Boy, did I love Spaceballs.
Never saw it.
Oh, I bet.
Me either.
Well, I don't know if you'd like it today, but I loved that movie.
Loved that movie. So good.
You got to turn your mic.
Yeah, I've tried 3-4 times to do it, and it wasn't working. So this guy, he was a tiny little guy with glasses, or he really had some kind of Darth Vader outfit on?
Just the way he was dressed. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he said but I don't have dimensions of the gentleman, but the way he was dressed. Despite the trauma of the ordeal, the employee expressed gratitude that no one was hurt.
What part of town was this?
This was close to Lakeville. In Newmarket Township.
Oh, Christ. I've been down there a few times. Yeah, Newmarket. I'll be damned.
A series of brazen burglaries targeting high-end homes, including those of professional athletes, has left many residents on edge and more vigilant than ever, and it's happening here in Minnesota, too.
I've never been more, what's the word I should use? I've never been more, I guess, proud to not be high-end.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm in the same boat. In Sunfish Lake in the South Metro, John Johansson, a 57-year-old former NHL player, returned home to find a broken second-floor window, a busted safe, and his valuables gone. It's happening everywhere, he said.
It's in Kansas City, it's in Milwaukee, it's everywhere. It's with athletes, it's on the west side of town, the east side of town.
The high-end thieves have struck in multiple cities, Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce among the victims. In Milwaukee, NBA player Bobby Portis shared video footage showing intruders at his home. Here in town, Vikings defensive lineman Linval Joseph is among the victims. Law enforcement agencies are working together to connect the dots. We're looking at cases across the metro and country to see if the time frames and methods align, West St. Paul's police chief said. In September, authorities reported more than 60 similar break-ins in high-end neighborhoods are under investigation, with 12 different law enforcement agencies working together to solve these crimes.
Man, this really sucks.
Yeah, I mean, they're a lot of times targeting these high-profile athletes, not just because they're most likely to have stuff in their homes, but they know where they are.
Yep, they know their schedule.
They're on the field at the moment, or whatever their particular sport.
I hate this kind of thing.
Yeah, it's terrible. But it's also happening to wealthy folks that aren't big-time celebrities in some higher-end towns.
Okay.
A 45-year-old Virginia woman, furious over a botched pizza order, called her husband and told him to handle the situation. Minutes later, he did, and an argument could be made that he went too far in handling the situation. The husband stormed into the restaurant, stabbed a 24-year-old employee multiple times, and disemboweled him. Court documents paint a grim picture of the midday attack. The victim was stabbed several times in the back, in the front, and with a deep cut across the torso, which exposed his intestines. The filing read.
Criminy.
Again, this was because their pizza order was incorrect. So they had it coming. After the assault, the couple fled the scene, leaving the worker in critical condition. A neighbor of the couple said he was surprised to learn about what happened because he's always had friendly, non-disembowelly interactions with them.
Well, it's news to me. Every time I've had any interface with them and anything else, it's always been very congenial. We've loaned each other tools and garden equipment and stuff like that. So,
really?
Like I said, this is all real news to me.
The husband now faces felony charges of malicious wounding and brandishing a firearm, while his wife has been charged with conspiracy to commit malicious wounding.
Malicious wounding? So the kid isn't dead?
No. He's survived.
That's incredible.
Thankfully.
Wow.
Man, I hate this place.
Mm-hmm.
It's like...
A little bit.
The guy's at home, and he comes in to do that, and he has nothing to do with the situation.
Right.
He was just looking for a reason.
Takes orders from the old lady pretty well, doesn't he?
Yeah, I guess so. A 35, if you had to find a silver lining, he He does.
Jesus criminy.
A 35-year-old woman turned a routine shoplifting attempt into a fiery fiasco last week, using a makeshift flamethrower to fend off a California convenience store clerk. The incident ignited, quite literally, about 3:20 a.m. last Tuesday after an employee caught the woman stealing food. When confronted, she pulled out a lighter and an aerosol can, creating a fiery spray aimed right at the worker's face. Fortunately, the flames fizzled before causing serious injury, but the distraction did give the woman just enough time to escape on foot. Police say that investigation is ongoing. Authorities in both coasts found some uniquely illegal items in travelers' luggage last week. TSA officers at Pittsburgh International uncovered a live grenade in a bag during routine screening just after 9:30 a.m. last Tuesday. The bomb squad quickly arrived, confirmed the device was active, and then removed it from the scene. A 25-year-old West Virginia man was arrested in connection with that incident. Meanwhile, at Los Angeles International, TSA agents found a party waiting to happen, a suitcase filled with T-shirts coated in meth. A 20-year-old British traveler en route to Australia to meet her boyfriend for the very first time was stopped during a layover when security flagged her bag. Concealed beneath the suitcase's inner lining, customs officials discovered over a dozen Target brand T-shirts soaked with meth. Although the woman denied knowledge of the drug, she's still facing federal charges, and worst of all, her romantic union with her Australian boyfriend has been indefinitely postponed.
Oh, that's the worst part.
Sounds like they were going to have one hell of a first meeting.
Yeah, I guess. They were looking to have some fun.
Huffing the armpits of meth-soaked T-shirts.
Yum.
Get a high, Josh.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Glamorous way to do it.
How often does that happen? Anybody know where they're putting, like, can you make some real Speedos? You know, like mix some sort of drug with clothes. Is this a common occurrence?
I've never heard of that in my entire life, Josh. Never once.
No.
Hey, kid, stay away from those acid-wash jeans. A prominent 47-year-old championship-winning Florida high school football coach was caught on camera watching pornography in the middle of a classroom right in front of students. The head football coach at a Miami high school was seen viewing the naughty content on a school computer while at least one student filmed it. Clearly, the coach was reviewing tape, just not the kind anyone expected. Footage shows the coach at the desk in a corner of a classroom with the explicit material clearly visible on the screen. He's been placed on leave, probably Googling how to clear browser history as the Miami-Dade School District investigates. It's unclear if he'll face criminal charges.
Right there in front of the kids?
Yeah. This was not like you had to look hard to find it.
Oh, what was he thinking?
I don't know.
And he was aware that the kids could see what he was watching.
He should have known better, but his back was turned, so the kid's filming him from behind. And I can't figure that one out. I've never been that horny where I would take that risk. or
You'll get there one day, Josh.
Yeah.
Or be able to be horny around kids that age. I don't get it.
To me, it sounds like somebody went nuts.
Yeah, exactly. Residents of West St. Paul might have noticed a tiny trickle of trouble this week as water pressure took a nosedive. Turns out it was due to a vandalism incident. West St. Paul police reported a watery whodunit after officers responded to a break-in at the St. Paul Regional Water Services holding tank Tuesday night at about 10 p.m. When squads arrived, officers saw several suspects fleeing the scene. Neighboring departments assisted using drones, helicopters, and ground searches to apprehend multiple juveniles and young adult suspects. Police discovered the water reservoir lid had been vandalized, so as a precaution, they isolated and shut off the reservoir until testing confirmed the water is safe. While there's no reason to believe the suspects intended to tamper with the water supply, the City of West St. Paul, West St. Paul Police Department, and St. Paul Regional Water Services treat any incident involving water supply infrastructure with the utmost importance, a social media post read. Police are pursuing charges against those suspects.
Who wanted water?
We want water.
I love the Seinfeld. I love the Seinfeld episode where the water pressure isn't up to Kramer's standards in the building, so he starts selling bootleg shower heads, including one that's designed for elephants at the circus.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I saw that one. I saw where he used to make salad and stuff in the shower. St. Paul's riverfront became an unexpected battleground last Wednesday night when vandals, armed with a disturbing level of dedication and possibly a grudge against bark, ripped 60 newly planted trees from the ground and chucked them into the Mississippi, causing an estimated $40,000 in damages. These weren't just any trees. They were part of a wholesome project involving 25 high school students who planted 250 trees in October to green up the city, teenagers who spent their time improving the city instead of scrolling TikTok. And now photos from the scene show sad, empty holes where those trees once stood, a reminder that no good deed goes unpunished.
Those trees weren't just loosely planted into the ground. They're planted with some pretty serious conviction.
Out of the 60 trees, only 14 were recovered from their watery grave. Police say an investigation is underway. A lot of dicks out there.
That's the group. So. That's the group you want to be in town. The group that tears trees out of the ground. And
Can you 250 trees, dude?
I could think of a lot of different ways. If I was running with a pack of hooligans, I could think of a lot of different ways to have fun. Other than that, I would veto that idea when the head hooligan said, "Tonight, let's go rip trees out of their moorings." No, we're not going to. Let's rob a liquor store or something. What's happened to our gang is what I would say.
I think after one tree, you'd be like, okay, there we go, we did it. That was cool. It was in the ground. Now it's in the river. What else do we got?
How about 249 more of these?
Now streaming on Peacock, the premiere of Based on a True Story Season 2. A real estate agent, a plumber, and a former tennis star sees a unique opportunity to profit from America's obsession with crime and sordid events. Ted Danson plays a retired professor who goes undercover at a retirement home at the request of a private investigator in the series premiere of a new comedy called A Man on the Inside on Netflix.
Undercover at an old folks' home.
This looks cool.
That sounds funny.
I'm excited to watch this.
Yeah, supposedly it's very funny and also very emotional.
Oh, no.
They recommend be prepared to cry.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I don't feel like it.
Be prepared to cry.
I do love Ted Danson.
Oh, he's the best.
Yeah, he's so
everybody
good.
loves Ted Danson.
Yeah, you're right. That's not really a divisive statement. Most people love Ted Danson. Making its streaming debut on Hulu, the horror sci-fi hit Alien Romulus, which is reviewed very well. And for Thursday Night Football on Prime, the Browns will host the Steelers. Michael Strahan, 53 today. Ken Griffey Jr., 55. Troy Aikman, 58. Congratulations to I'll Try Anything Twice Jesus. 10 years cancer-free today. That's awesome to hear. Happy belated birthday to Farmington Dad Jesus, who turned 51 yesterday. Happy birthday to medical device engineer Jesus, turning 26 today from Dad, STMA Zamboni Jesus. Weed-smoking union worker Jesus texting a birthday shout-out to his smoking hot fiancé, Puerto Rican Jesus. And happy 21st to Stone to the Bone Jesus. That's 93X News.
Randy Shaver.
Got a fat ass and a bad attitude.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
I had just spent time with this woman for the first time.
Yeah, okay.
And got a text that Dale Carter was being suspended. I think it was for 8 games for substance abuse. As I continued to lay there, confirm it, and got the job done, Kevin, in every which way.
Oh, that's gross and unnecessary information right there. Hello, Randy
Agreed.
Shaver.
Agreed.
Randy Shaver?
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
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 Hi.
We're off to an awkward start. The voice you heard right there, Randy Shaver, was that sick NFL stalker, Adam Schefter, I think is his name.
That's the guy.
You mean the insider?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the term he prefers.
I just got that. It was worth the wait. That was worth the wait.
The realization on your face was amazing.
That's the term he prefers when we're discussing this story, yes.
Yes.
He claims he broke a big football story years ago right after he had sex.
Yeah.
Now, he was asked. He was on somebody's podcast, and he was asked about the weirdest place he'd ever broken a story. And he explained right there he was just fresh off a young lady, lying in a hotel room somewhere, and he broke some story about, did he say Dale Carter?
Yeah.
My God, that's many years ago. Yeah, right after he busted one loose with a lady, and it sounded like a one-night stand. What did he say? Something like, I had just made contact with this lady.
He just met her?
A one-night stand kind of. It's all very exciting. He was asked, so, I think we got to cut him a break. At first, Josh, I thought he was one of those fully grown, I got laid guys.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
The worst, yeah.
We used to know one of those guys. You're fully grown, you're in your 30s, and you still think you need to announce to everyone when you've had sex?
Yep. Yeah,
He high-fived himself.
You guys actually still know one of those people.
Oh, I still know a couple of those people, actually, yeah.
Yeah, because I had that the first time I ever encountered that was at one of the work Christmas parties. Somebody came up and was talking about how they had sex with their significant other all day, and it was just exhausting.
How's it going, dude? Oh, man, I'm tired. It was like that, wasn't it?
First time I ever met the guy.
Yeah.
So weird.
And you just did not have any interest in knowing that about him.
And it wasn't like he said it once or twice. This was like a 30-minute out, like an hour went by, and it would still keep coming up. I'm like, okay, I get it.
Right.
I get
right.
it.
You are sexually active. Congratulations.
Also, gross. I don't want to think about you having sex.
Right.
Yeah, do people not realize that?
Ugh.
No, they don't. Some guys, especially guys, if they live to be 150, every day of their lives, they'll be that.
Careful now.
They'll be that I got laid guy. You know it's true, Randy Shaver. And you're being awful quiet, which leads me to believe that you're one of those I got laid guys. All right. Since we were rapping a little bit about football, we can keep going with that vibe. This all gets so confusing for me because there's so many different ways you can get into the football Hall of Fame, the Pro Football Hall of Fame. You got you got this mode and the veteran mode, and you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's only been kind of recently, though.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's become so damn confusing.
Yeah.
So the Pro Football Hall of Fame released the names of its 25 modern era semifinalists. These are modern era players that might go ahead and get themselves inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's nothing that I don't think any of us are terribly concerned about now. But
I think
I'll just throw a couple names at you, and we'll go from there. Among the first-time eligible players, one of them is my favorite Manning brother, and that would be two-time Super Bowl MVP Eli Manning. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't find himself in the Hall of Fame one day. Also, a Carolina Panthers linebacker, 7-time Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly. Mm-hmm. And then we could go on forever, Randy Shaver, with who else is in the running this year as far as the modern era goes. You got guys like Terrell Suggs and Earl Thomas and Adam Vinatieri. Now, that's a kicker, of course, Adam Vinatieri. How many kickers do we have in the Hall of Fame? 2, 1?
Probably 2.
And that would be Jan Stenerud and...
Well, if you're counting Ray Guy, that'd be a punter.
Oh, no, we're not. That's a punter. I thought, is it kickers or punters? There's only 1 or 2 of each. Jan Stenerud and maybe Morton Anderson?
That's the other one, Morton Anderson.
Really? Oh, God.
Yeah.
I wish this was a dad fight. Punters, is it only Ray Guy?
I think it's only Ray Guy.
But Adam Vinatieri won Super Bowls, and he was terrific at what he did.
Yeah, he kicked for a long time, too. So
There's a few. There's 5 kickers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Give them to me.
Let's see. George Blanda.
Oh,
George Blanda, yeah.
So it's punters where there's only 1, but kickers there's a few. What about Garo Yepremian?
No, not that I'm seeing.
No. I like to say the name, and plus he was part of that big Super Bowl blunder. Wait, okay, other kickers in the Hall of Fame. I should be able to do this. So we have George Blanda, we have Jan Stenerud, we have Morton Anderson. Mm-hmm. 2 more, huh?
Well, they have. Go ahead.
I'm just seeing 1 more.
1 more place kicker.
Yeah, because we mentioned there's a punter in there.
Yeah, we're not making.
Yeah.
So there's 1 more kicker.
What about Jason Hansen?
Nope.
Boy, don't you think he'll get there someday, Randy Shaver?
Well, he kicked for almost 20 years.
Oh,
I would think that he'd have a great opportunity. I'm trying to
give me the ball club.
To think who.
Do you know what ball club
he's? So Browns.
Bar, B-A-H-R.
Oh, is it Lou Groza?
Yes.
Oh, we're going way back.
Yeah.
All right, folks here in this town probably are rooting for Jared Allen to go into the Hall of Fame someday.
Well, I think Jim Marshall is still up for the Veterans Committee.
Okay, see, I don't have that information in front of me. All I have are the modern day.
I think Chuck Foreman and Jim Marshall are still up, are still in contention with the Veterans Committee.
Here are some of the other modern guys that names you'd recognize for sure. Anquan Bolden, Antonio Gates, James Harrison, not James Harrison, Rodney Harrison, Torrey Holt, Steve Smith Jr., Fred Taylor, Hines Ward, Ricky Waters. He ran angry, didn't he, Randy Shaver?
He did. So is this the regular? This is not a...
here we go.
This is just well, I'm confused now because...
that's how I led this story off, by saying this is very confusing. Right. So you're asking the wrong guy.
So this is just the regular group. This is just the group that the writers or the media vote on. This is not a committee, a special committee, correct? Because if Jared Allen's in it...
modern era. Randy, I led this off by saying I don't understand this anymore. So I don't know.
There's a number of... I believe it's just the regular voting... group.
Let's go.
I think the only special group right now for football is the Veterans Committee.
Let's go along with it.
Is the guys who they've exhausted their how many years they're eligible for this vote. It's kind of like baseball, how Leba got in and Jim Cott got in. They were a Veterans Committee that had been overlooked, and they went back. They had a committee of people that went back and looked at their numbers and then were able to get in through that way.
Yeah, I hear you on all that. Hey, do you play Madden lately, Randy Shaver?
No, I'm not a Madden guy.
Josh,
I love the college football game. Yep. Love it. Play it all the time.
Madden
but I'm not
NFL
a Madden
25,
guy.
Josh.
I've played it a couple times when we got it. My son plays it pretty much every day.
Do you know what's available to you and your son, more importantly, my godson?
The new edition?
There's a new move.
Yeah.
All right.
I watched some videos of it yesterday.
Randy Shaver, Saquon Barkley, running back for the Philadelphia.
Oh, no way. They've got it in there?
Yeah.
The rump jump?
His famous backwards ass.
The rump jump.
The backwards ass hurdle he pulled off a few weeks ago has been added to the game.
That's sweet.
Wow.
Nice.
So now you can hop over a guy. You can teabag a guy with the football in hand. It's been added to the game. I don't know how that's possible, but it is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy how legit it looks, too. At first I thought I was watching the live video and realized, oh, no, that's from the video game. They've really come a long way.
Mm-hmm. Now, people often make way too big a deal out of this kind of a thing, specifically the players. Recently, there was a conversation, a guy from ESPN by the name of Jeremy Fowler was talking this and that about big-time wide receivers in the National Football League. And this Jeremy Fowler said, teams may dislike game planning against Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver Jamar Chase even more than they dislike game planning for Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson. You see what I mean? So this is going to start a thing now. This is going to be a thing.
Well, I would say the difficulty in game planning against Jamar Chase is that you're also dealing with a Joe Burrow. And that makes the challenge even more difficult. Not taking anything away from Sam Darnold. He's done a nice job, but it's Joe Burrow. And so I think that makes the challenge a little bit more difficult.
The players involved, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, even though I think they're buddies from college or whatever, I wouldn't doubt. You know how sensitive these guys are. They are. Speaking of Madden, they pay attention. Every hour they check to see what their rating is on Madden, and if it's not where they like it to be, they're going to go on social media and wet their pants. And then fans also take great offense to stuff like this. But according to this Jeremy Fowler, he says even though Justin Jefferson has been the consensus top receiver over the past 2 years, many scouts and coaches believe that Chase strikes more fear in the hearts of opponents because of his big play ability.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't realize this.
I would argue they both have big playability. I don't.
Well, they're not saying one has it and one doesn't.
Right.
They're saying.
Yeah.
Now,
Chase has put up some big numbers though. He said he had a game this year where he was, I don't know, 240 yards receiving or something crazy like that. So.
Now, I don't follow the stats. But this is pretty interesting. This Jamar Chase is in position for the triple crown of wide receiver statistics.
Yep.
He has 73 catches on the year for 1,056 yards, and he already has 12 touchdowns through 11 games.
He's had a big year so far.
Plus, he's been playing with Joe Burrow for years.
Right.
This is an interesting date in NFL history. You younger folks won't remember this, but this was a lot of friggin' fun. On this date in 1982, the National Football League resumed its season following a 57-day players' strike. And when they had the Scabs out there playing, that was a riot. I don't remember how many weeks it lasted, Randy Shaver. Was it just maybe 2 or 3, 4 games?
No, it was longer than 2 or 3.
They played more than 2 or 3?
I don't know if they played right away. It took a while to bring players in.
That's what I mean. Did they play more than 2 games with Scabs?
I think they played more than that. I don't have it in front of me. Maybe somebody can look it up. But.
Looks like 5 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah, they
5 weeks of games, or 5 weeks of games, or just 5 weeks of strike. That's what we're asking. How many games did the Scabs play?
Looks like 3.
Okay. That sounds
4, 5, and 6. Weeks 4, 5, and 6.
I mean, these were guys who, obviously they weren't NFL caliber athletes.
No.
Some of them were very good. Some of them were not. And it was just hilarious.
And remember,
I'm sorry. I was going to say this is incorrect info. I got to look up something else here.
Okay.
That was not right.
And remember, this is long before, the other leagues that exist now. Where there's kind of like the minor leagues for the NFL. That didn't exist in '82.
It was probably one year before the USFL started.
Yeah, these are guys that walked off the street.
That's awesome. It was.
These were like truck drivers and former college players. And,
right.
And it was a tumultuous time too. There were people players that were super upset that the NFL was going to continue to play without the real players. But
there were fights at the picket lines and all the stuff that you see when big corporations and whatnot go on strike. I mean, I just wish it was so long ago. I wish I could remember. There was one quarterback out there, Scab quarterback, and I wish I could tell you what club he played for. But this sumbitch was so over the hill. And you could see it in his face. This was not a young man. But somehow he landed the gig because he was a starting quarterback at Tulane from 1972 to 1976. He had played some quarterback. Those were interesting days.
Was it Shane Falco?
I don't know.
No.
It's Keanu Reeves' name in The Replacements.
Never saw it.
Shane Falco.
Never saw it.
Is that any good? I love Keanu.
It's silly.
I like it.
It's decent.
I mentioned earlier both our favorite winter ball clubs are in Canada tonight. The Wolves are in Toronto. The Pigs are in Edmonton. The Washington Capitals made it official. They moved Alexander Ovechkin over there to the IR with a lower leg injury. We were talking a day or two ago about he's chasing Gretzky down.
When you go on IR in the NHL, how long do you have to sit?
Here's what it says in front of me, Randy Shaver. The rules say that he has to miss at least the next 2 games, but insiders type of folks say it'll be longer than that. He's mangled himself to where it will likely be longer than that. Here's where I got confused. Thank you, Song and Emotion, Jesus. And that's a reference to Tesla's 1991 record, Psychotic Supper, and I appreciate that as well. NFL scabs, this is where I got confused. I forgot there were two separate situations here. NFL scabs played 3 games in 87. 82, it was just a shortened season. So it wasn't 82 when they had the scabs play, it was 87. And I believe that's all legit. And again, I appreciate the text, Song and Emotion, Jesus. The 1987 Vikings, the scabs, played 3 games.
Yep.
The Vikings were 8-4. They shortened the season down to 12 games. The Vikings were 8-4 on the season. The Vikings scabs went 0-3.
Oh, no. That was our year, too.
Well, that was the year then. That was the year they lost in the NFC.
That was a Jerry Burns year, too, right?
Yes, it was. Jerry Burns. They lost in the NFC title game to the Washington Redskins on the play where everyone blames Darren Nelson.
Oh, Darren Nelson. Yes. It wasn't Darren Nelson's fault.
No, it was not. It's just like the Gary Anderson situation, where the blame has been misplaced on Gary Anderson all these years. The blame was also misplaced on Darren Nelson. If you watch the replay of the Vikings' final crack to get into the end zone in the 87 title game against Washington, Darren Nelson is backpedaling, and Wade Wilson throws the ball at his feet. I challenge anybody to make that catch, but because it bounced off of Nelson's hands, he became a douchebag in this town for the next 10 years. You know what I mean?
Is that the... Do you have the games in front of you, Nick?
What games?
That season?
No.
I'm wondering, is that the season where they went to New Orleans?
Yes.
And won their game?
Yes.
And then they went to San Francisco?
Yes.
And beat the 49ers?
Yes.
At Candlestick?
Anthony Carter had like 15
Anthony
catches.
Carter went off for over 200-some yards.
Yes, that is the season.
And they actually switched quarterbacks. Montana, either they benched him or he got hurt and Steve Young played.
You're exactly right.
If I remember right, because I was at that game.
Yeah.
That 49ers game that got him into the NFC title game.
And they came close, didn't they?
Yeah.
If they get
they should have made the Super Bowl that year. They really should have.
If they get in the end zone on that last drive, they play in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah, those were great games. The game at New Orleans, I remember Hassan Jones had a massive game against the Saints. And then, like we discussed, for some reason, the 49ers just could not find Anthony Carter on the field that day.
No, he lit them up.
Anthony Carter.
What was Wade Wilson the quarterback of that group?
Yes.
Wade Wilson, if I remember right, Wade was the one that helped them win the big game in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
To get them to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Am I correct on that? Was it Wade?
That's my memory. I don't have any. That's what my memory tells me is that it was Randy Shaver. Who was the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints in that wild card game?
Bobby Hebert.
You son of a bitch! You're right. It was Bobby Hebert.
Yeah.
Back to hockey real quick. We were talking about Pigs play in Edmonton. Ovechkin's on the shelf for a while. You guys might find this cute. The Buffalo Sabres have a cute little giveaway at an upcoming game. The Sabres posted a teaser video for this. So on November 27th, the night before Thanksgiving, they're playing the Man-Bear Pigs at home, the Sabres are, and they're giving away to the first 10,000 fans a gravy boat shaped like a Sabres Zamboni.
I want that.
Yeah.
That looks pretty cool.
That's cool.
It looks awesome.
It does look cool.
That's cool.
First 10,000 fans. Everyone else, SOL. You got to have your Thanksgiving. The next day, Thanksgiving dinner, regular old stupid gravy boat.
I have a gravy boat that was my great-grandma's. It's the world's ugliest thing, but...
Oh, that's cool, though.
Yeah.
You've been hanging on to that for centuries?
It's a big, ugly, yellow gravy boat.
I bet that's got the flavors baked into it at this point.
Yeah, and like lead paint or something.
All right, this is cute. And it also aggravated the hell out of me. So the Wolves play in Toronto tonight, their last game. against who the hell was it where Julius Randle hit the buzzer beater? Who the hell was that? Phoenix. Julius Randle hit the buzzer beater. This story popped up a couple days ago, but we didn't get around to it. It says here the Wolves and Suns game on Sunday should have gone to overtime because Julius Randle traveled before he tossed up that three-point bucket to win the game. Now, I've never heard of this before, but that announcement was made, and that determination was made by the NBA's last 2 minutes report, which is released the day after every game. I'd never heard of that. According to the report, Randle should have been called for traveling, and the shot should not have counted. Don't even start with me on this.
What's the purpose of doing that report if it doesn't change anything?
Good question.
I mean, I can see if you're evaluating referees, and that's part of the evaluation process, is to have, I'm sure they do that every game, where they have some sort of they put out a report, but that should be something. I would not make that public. All that does is just tick off everybody.
I have to start reading
if you're a
this
Phoenix
report.
Fan.
Yeah, I have to start reading this report, though, because if they're going to call out traveling, my God, I'll be there all day reading that report. So
but they're not calling it out. They're saying it was a missed call.
That's what I mean when I say calling. The next day they call it out.
Aggravating.
It is. What Julius Randle did was take a step-back three, which has been the most popular move in the NBA.
Thank you, James Harden.
Exactly. Well, is James Harden, Steph Curry? Steph Curry deserves some of that blame, too.
Yeah, you're right. Steph Curry, too.
But the league ignores that nowadays because more buckets means more fans and more ratings. So that's what's so silly about it. It's a step-back three. The league has embraced it. So then so should this last 2 minutes report. Stop calling that traveling. Even though it is traveling, they stopped calling it 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Good Lord. And when I see that three-point shot, that step back or sidestep three-point shot, it pisses me off every time. What it does to me, Randy Shaver, I think of the great players who were not given that advantage during their career. They must watch the game today and say, my damn, if I was allowed that step-back three, think of how many more points I could have scored. Maybe I'd be in the Hall of Fame.
Think about how many players played the game without the three-point line to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you consider all the points that were scored previous to that's an amazing feat because they did not shoot the ball from 25, 27 feet away from the basket. The game obviously was totally different. It was a mid-range, drive the paint type of game.
Every possession you gave the ball to your center, and it went from there.
Yeah, and that's certainly not the way it is now, obviously.
Totally different ball game. By the way, we really stepped in it here, Josh, by bringing up that Buffalo Sabres Zamboni gravy boat.
Oh, yeah?
I wasn't aware that a gravy boat is a sex move.
Oh, no. I brought my great-grandma into the conversation.
Yeah, then you had to bring up your friggin'...
She started it.
Oh, no.
I got to look this up now, don't I?
Don't look
Josh's
it up.
great...
Oh, my
Don't look it up.
God.
Josh's great-grandmother was the pioneer of the gravy boat sex move? You can't say that to a guy.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. Oh. And to think you're going to be giving thanks about that.
Thanksgiving's canceled, Randy.
More than a few people.
Almost ruined gravy for me.
More than a few people texted in. A few people texted in and said and talked about the sex move, the gravy boat. I hadn't heard of that.
I've never heard of that either.
I'm not going to look it up.
Don't look it up.
Yeah,
look
like actually don't.
Did you look it up, Josh?
Yeah.
Does that sound like something your great-grandmother would do?
You know, I got to be honest. I never met her. She passed on before I was alive. Sometimes on Urban Dictionary, the first one is the worst one, and then there'll be other definitions. It hasn't gotten any better. I'm down to number 4.
I didn't know there were more.
Oh, yeah. Scroll down, dude. Oh, God, they even get worse as we go.
Your great-grandmother never dumped a gravy boat on anybody.
No, not at all. By the way, I think it would be done to her. Some of these.
Looks like it'd be done to her.
All right. I always find this kind of thing to be silly. and over dramatic. LeBron James says he's leaving social media for a while because there's just too much negativity.
Yeah.
Just discovering that now.
I don't know how we'll go on. We'll have to and that's not a shot directed solely at LeBron. Lots of people pull that effing 7th grade move. Just go ahead and leave. A major announcement isn't necessary. It's effing social media. It's not the real world.
Right.
You know, the next time you send a video to my Facebook page of a shot to the nuts or a picture of the, quote, amazing dinner you had last night, I will not be there to receive it. Farewell, social media.
Oh, no. Bye.
Goodbye.
We'll miss you. Not at all.
By the way, LeBron James, we haven't talked about him in a while. This LeBron James thing just keeps getting weirder. Randy Shaver, did you hear? Okay, now he's been dumped onto their G League team, right?
Right.
The Lakers G League team. And obviously he was never meant to be drafted, but he was because of his dad. The latest on LeBron James, he doesn't have to play road games.
What?
He opted out.
He doesn't have to play road games with his teammates.
You can do that?
Well, when you're LeBron James, you can. Yeah, that's according to.
So what does he do when they go on the road?
He plays Xbox.
Stays home.
Yeah.
Oh, for Pete's sake. That's just.
And he's got a 4-year, $8 million contract.
You're kidding me. That is what?
That's according to a report from ESPN's Brian Windhorst.
I was waiting for you to say psych. What in the world?
LeBron's star treatment has gone to another level. He only has to play home games. So he's only.
I thought the kid was there to develop.
No.
Yeah,
no.
That's what I don't understand.
That was never part of the plan. The kid is there to make LeBron happy. What are you guys nuts or something?
That's pretty ridiculous. I'm surprised LeBron even gives the okay for that. That's special treatment that the kid does not deserve.
So he's only got to kind of be a part of their G League team. He's not getting on any airplanes to fly and play road games. The Lakers are fine with it because it's LeBron's kid. And a quote from this Brian Windhorst, he says, I don't think it benefits LeBron. Well, hell no. I don't think it benefits the G League team, and I don't think it benefits LeBron. Well,
no, because actually he would be a reason why people would come and watch the teams play.
There you go. Right.
And so that does not help the G League at the gate if he is not going to travel with the team. That just doesn't make any sense.
If that's my teammate, I'm pissed off.
Well, yeah. And
the
team
yeah, I don't care who he is.
That's my teammate, I'm mad.
Yep.
I mean, I can see it if it's an established veteran guy who's working his way back. You know, it's kind of like going to the minor leagues to kind of work your way back to in shape kind of a thing. I can see that. Because you've earned that.
Of course.
He hasn't earned anything.
This is all completely different. It's
yeah.
We all know what it is.
Yeah.
Can you imagine him turning to his teammates, as they're packing up to get on a bus and go to La Crosse, Wisconsin or whatever for a G League? The rest of his teammates are packing up, and he's like, well, boys, I'll see you in a few days. I'm going to go drop X with the Kardashian ladies and play some Xbox. Playing for the New York Knickerbockers these days, Karl Anthony Towns. He was on television last night. It was a late game. I didn't see it.
Yep.
I thought you'd like this headline about Karl Anthony Towns' performance so far with the New York Knickerbockers. It says, Karl Anthony Towns is scoring like Dirk Nowitzki in his prime and defending like present-day Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah, that describes it.
Oh, man. Karl always gets his ass kicked over his defense, doesn't he?
Well, I mean, when you don't play it, it's kind of an easy target.
Yeah.
That's insane. I just read that the G League flies commercial, too. So that could be a reason why he doesn't want to do it.
That's what some people texting.
Why? What difference does it make?
Because he's better than us.
Yeah, he grew up rich,
he
man.
needs to fly private.
Oh, yeah.
Randy Shaver, Chris Sale of the Atlanta Braves was named the National League Cy Young Award winner. He had a comeback season. It's his first Cy Young Award. He beat out a cat from the Philadelphia Phillies by the name of Zach Wheeler. Now, the shame of it all was after that great season by Chris Sale, his arm falls off again at the end of the season, and he couldn't help
it. It did. Yeah, it did not help them in the playoffs,
Wasn't able to help him in the playoffs, but he had a great year.
Yeah, he did.
And Randy's been swinging from this kid's jock since April. The American League Cy Young winner was that Scooble kid from the Detroit Tigers.
And it was unanimous. He was a unanimous winner for the Cy Young.
Mm-hmm.
He's phenomenal. He just is phenomenal.
They also went ahead and named the managers of the year, Major League Baseball, clearing out their trophy case here. Pat Murphy, Milwaukee Brewers skipper Pat Murphy.
Yeah.
From the National League, and the Cleveland Guardians manager Stephen Vogt.
I thought the Detroit manager deserved the AL Manager of the Year.
Yeah. What's his name again? The guy that went with the Astros for years? I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I can't think of it either, but I think he deserved it.
Yeah, maybe because he had won one prior, or won a couple maybe prior with the Astros. Maybe they decided to, what's the term Marcus Foligno used yesterday? Give these other guys a cookie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's your
funny.
cookie. I got a kick out of this.
A.J. Hinch.
A.J. Hinch. Suck on this, you Rocco haters. Rocco Baldelli, Twins manager Rocco Baldelli, got 1 third-place vote for American League Manager of the Year.
Nice.
Oh, man.
I like Rocco.
Let's hang up a banner at Target Field.
I want
Rocco it's going to be a tough. This could be a real tough go here until this team is sold, until they figure out what the new management looks like and what their TV contracts look like, and they're going to be in limbo here. This is going to be. I've been reading some things that said, they're going to make some trades. I don't know how much they're really going to do, because they really don't. They're going to be, if they're still playing under the Pohlad regime, or still by the time spring training rolls around. I just don't know. There's not going to be a long leash to spend money, so it's got to be tough. That's got to be hard.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that are up in the air right now with the Twins.
There are a lot of better things to do with your money come summertime too.
Well, I mean, there are in the Twin Cities. That's one of the problems the Twins have always faced, is that there's a lot of things going on. We love our summers because they don't last. That's our one time to get outside and enjoy life without having to put a coat on, and so they're always battling that part of it too. Which is why you've got to spend money and put a great product on the field. That's the only way you're going to get people to show up the ballpark.
You got that right, Randy Shaver. But you know what? Summer, to me, it's not – things have changed for me. Summer really isn't about baseball for me anymore. Summer's gravy boat season.
Stop. I want to forget about that.
Well, you got to look it up. To me, that's more of a winter sport.
I am not going to look it up. Because it would likely probably going to make my tummy hurt if I look it up.
Oh, yeah,
it will.
Like I said, it gets worse. The first one was bad enough, but the more you scroll, it's...
Make your...
Oh, man.
Randy Shaver, the Pittsburgh Pirates.
What was Grandma thinking anyway?
It was a different time.
Was she
She lived in the Great Depression. Anything else seemed better.
She was an Iowegian, too, wasn't she?
She was.
She was an Iowegian. They do things.
Wow, she was.
Yeah.
Where from?
Gosh. Like the Dubuque-ish area, right around...
Oh, over in the Quad Cities area?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Pirates, Randy Shaver.
Paul Skeens.
Apparently they are the Willy Wonka of Major League Baseball. They've lined up with the folks over there at Topps, the ones who dump the baseball cards. Okay.
Yep.
The Pirates and Topps are offering a prize in exchange for...
Oh, I've seen this, yes.
Whoever finds a one-of-a-kind baseball card featuring their star pitcher, Paul Skeens. They're hiding a card in Topps packs They're hiding this Paul Skeens card in a pack of 20 plus 24 Topps baseball cards, which are available in stores now. They want you to know that. Whoever finds the special Paul Skeens card will win something big. Access to seats behind home plate at the Pirates ballpark for the next 30 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Now,
you said access, so it's not like every game you can go to, right?
Oh, that I don't know the details.
Yeah, I think there's like certain times or games or whatever. I don't think it's every game.
Okay. Maybe you get a 20-game package from the ball club or something like that.
Yeah.
Still.
I'm surprised that teams don't do this more often, because if you're first of all, you don't have to be a collector to be interested in that. And so you are going to go out and it's like buying a lottery ticket, right? You're going to go out and buy a lottery. You can't win if you don't play. So if you're a Pirates fan or a baseball fan, and you go buy a couple of packs of baseball cards from Topps for just maybe the chance that you could find that card, to me, it's a win-win both for the team and for the card company.
Sure. You also
I'm just surprised they don't do that more often.
You also get a meet and greet with that Skeens character. You get some autographs. You get some jerseys. And this sounds like a way for a few of your beer-bellied pals to end up in the hospital. They'll also give you the ballpark for an afternoon so you and your buddies can play a game of softball.
Oh, that's fun. That's really cool.
I could see a few of us.
I would say the groundskeeper's not going to be very happy about that. But
why are big league baseball groundskeepers such anal bastards?
They really are.
Well, because that's their livelihood. What was the guy, George Toma? Remember George Toma?
I remember the name.
Yeah, he was the guy that I think he was at Target Field when it first opened to kind of make sure that the grass was perfect and the dirt was perfect.
It doesn't have to look like a postcard every damn night. There can be some dead spots out there. Let's have some fun.
They brought him into Fort Myers at the Twins facility in Fort Myers to make sure that the field was perfect and immaculate.
They overdo that gimmick. They overdo it.
Yeah.
We should be able to have some rock concerts and some beer parties on the ball field.
Well, they do now. Target Field does that now.
But without the head groundskeeper having a conniption about it. You know what I mean? Allow some dead spots, some brown grass. Who cares? We got to go all the way back to basketball here. We were talking basketball earlier. We mentioned the name Steph Curry. I never enjoy when his name is brought up, but it happened. Got an interesting text here from Lake Street Handshake Jesus. He says his 8-year-old son wants a Steph Curry jersey for Christmas, and he has a question. Where will my son go? Does anyone have any ideas where he can go when I kick him out of the house? Is there like a Ronald McDonald house or something?
There's plenty of places.
Plenty of places.
Your 8-year-old son...
We have a children's shelter in my neighborhood. I can give you the address.
Did you hear that, Lake Street Handshake Jesus? Your child will find somewheres to live, and don't feel any shame. You're doing the right thing.
He won't be able to bring in the Curry jersey, but they'll have a nice place for him to stay.
Son, you have to remove that jersey before you enter this children's shelter. You're wearing the wrong team's jersey.
We won't help
Here's
you.
an Anthony Edwards jersey. Now you're welcome to come in.
Back to the Paul Skeens story. It looks like his girlfriend, Livy Dunn, even said that she's going to raise the stakes, and the winner also gets to be with her in a suite for a Pirates game.
I don't know what she's thinking.
That is insane.
Yeah.
What is insane about that?
She is scorching.
Yeah, wouldn't you worry about who's going to be joining her in that suite?
I don't know her, but people talk about her.
Oh yeah, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
Gymnast from LSU. Yeah, she's beautiful. She's a model. She does a whole bunch of stuff.
And in closing here, we got to go in a couple of minutes here.
Why?
We have a special guest coming up, Dr. Andrea Johnston from Gurman Animal Hospital. If you had a pet, Randy, you could ask a question about it. You don't have any house pets.
I don't, no.
No, you don't. Real quick, this is for you deer hunters out there. Boy, this is concerning as hell. Michigan officials, I'm not exactly sure who that involves, but Michigan officials are begging out-of-shape deer hunters to go to the doctor and get a checkup. 3 men in Michigan died from heart attacks out in the field on the first weekend of deer season over there.
No, it's not surprising.
A 50?
I was kind of surprised.
That's
wow.
3 in 48 hours.
3 in 48 hours is surprisning.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, you made that sound like when you're walking on the field, you're stepping over dead bodies.
I meant like it's more like not surprising that that happens, that people do have heart attacks because.
Well, no, that is not surprising. People do have heart attacks.
No, I mean like when doing that kind of stuff because it is a lot of work.
But one guy was only 57. I mean, I know you can have a heart attack at any age, but that seems kind of young. And if it was like 3 across the country over the entire season, that's maybe one thing.
One was 57, one was 65, one was 83. They all died of grabbers while dragging their carcass.
Why is an 83-year-old dragging his own deer out anyway?
Oh, I bet he's
because they're friggin' tough guys.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't talk these guys out of that kind of stuff.
Oh my gosh, no! Let the young people do it. Get a 4-wheeler, something.
So doctors are saying, exercise now and again. Start walking a month before hunting season. Do some weightlifting. Do some cardio. And they also recommend hunting with a friend. And bring a friggin' first aid kit or whatever,
Right. Bring a defibrillator with you.
Yeah.
Jesus, criminy.
Last year, I drug a deer out by myself, and it is absolutely like exhausting. Like I thought, and at the time I was in pretty good shape too. But I thought I was gonna die afterwards. I was so dead and exhausted, and it sucks.
How do you think the deer felt?
Dead.
Yeah, my dad and brother were big deer hunters for many, many, many years. But the old man checked out now. My brother tells a fun story where my dad and brother both had their own tree stand. And I don't remember how far apart they were, but it was quite a poke. But my brother cracked off a couple of shots. My dad, of course, heard it and recognized that it must have come from my brother. So my dad got out of his tree stand and began the walk to go see my brother and find out what had happened. And my brother said, there is not a chance in hell any other deer came anywhere near that area because my dad coughed the entire walk. And he had the most vicious smoker's hack.
What the heck?
Anyway, he wanted to come and see if my brothers, they didn't have cell phones, but he wanted to come over and see what happened. And the whole way,
oh my gosh.
And he's like, well, good luck, everybody else, now that the incredible smoking machine just, any deer within 10 miles had taken a friggin' sprint out of there.
Yep.
All right, Randy Shaver, one more final tomorrow.
Okay.
And we will enjoy ourselves when that happens. Thanks, pal. Coming up next, text in 651-989-9393 if you have a question about your dog or cat. Why does it do this? Why does it constantly lick that? Dr. Andrea Johnston from German Animal Hospital. She'll help you out. Our vet comes in next on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
It is that time of the year at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Winter's arrived, and with the holidays around the corner, it's the perfect time for Standard Heating's Black Friday Comfort Countdown specials. And right now is the time to become a Smart Club member and get your furnace in top shape before winter comes. Schedule your tune-up, boost your indoor air quality, or grab huge deals on a new system. Do not wait. Visit standardheating.com today. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are the things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
O'Shea Jackson Jr. and TJ Jefferson bring their unique take on sports entertainment with no contest wrestling, with guests like CM Punk.
And I'm parked right next to the TV truck, and it's just Steve Austin's head looking at me. Just like, take a picture, sent it to Steve. You know what I mean? He hit me back with a WTF, kid. You know?
Well, first of all, that's amazing.
That's sick.
Come on.
Yeah, like this is just, just literally trying to be in the moment.
The No Contest Wrestling Podcast, part of the Rich Eisen Podcast Network, wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
They can get pretty big. They can get 10 foot, 150 plus pounds, and they are a predator.
On 93X.
Bang morning, tuning in. Doc Andrea bursting in. 93X is buzzing bright. Ready for a wild delight. Nick and Josh with jokes so bold. One more laugh for this weight in gold. Doc Andrea laughs with glee. Dana and Ashley as wild as could be. Dr. Andrea on the air. Hear the pets with tender care. Half-ass crew with wit to spare. Radio waves they tear the air.
I'll be damned. Joining us in studio now with her own theme song is Dr. Andrea Johnston from Gurman Animal Hospital in Minnetonka. She's a fully licensed and experienced veterinarian. Text 651-989-9393 if you have a concern about your adorable house pet. How you been, Dr. Andrea?
I'm well, thanks. Thanks for that intro.
Yeah, Army Mailman Jesus, a listener to the show, he wrote a song for you there. It kicked out a couple different versions. We've become obsessed with this AI program where you write some lyrics, you say what kind of music you want, and it just pumps it out in about a minute.
It's awesome.
Yeah, we have been obsessed lately.
It's awesome.
And it's turned out pretty cool. Everything's good?
Yeah, we're good.
Thank you for coming back in studio.
Of course. Happy to be back.
We have a little bit of a limited visit today, so I hope you don't mind if we just dive straight into the questions.
Go ahead.
From our listeners, and you get lots of them. Josh, I'd like to start with that question I heard you reference just slightly off air. I'm really interested in this question.
Yeah, I don't know if we've been asked something like this before.
Someone's looking for you to start trouble, maybe.
Maybe, or just really your opinion.
All right.
What pet name are you sick of hearing? And what is the most overrated dog breed?
Oh, no. Ouch. Nobody can take offense to this, but number one by far is Charlie.
Charlie.
Oh,
no.
All right, Dana, that was a setup.
Did you say okay? Oh, I got like a pin in my stomach for a second there.
That was a real question.
It's a real question.
That was a real question, but that was a setup.
we did bait Andrea into that because we know you and your fiance have a dog named Charlie. Although I agree, that is one of the most overused pet names ever.
It is. It's a big one.
What are some other pet names?
What would have your number one answer have been?
Bella.
Bella. You hear a lot of Bellas.
Yeah,
huh?
Bella. We see a lot of Bellas. We see a lot of like Chloes and Zoes, and I see a handful of Buddies.
Buddy?
You're never supposed to name your dog Lucky because they are the most unlucky dog.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
good to know.
I mean, it's sad, but we're like, they're the ones that get hit by cars
Oh,
or
oh,
terrible
oh,
things
no.
because their name is Lucky. So don't name your dog Lucky.
I mean,
that's good advice.
You're not kidding now. I knew a Springer Spaniel. Well, more specifically, I knew who owned it. That would be strange if I was just close friends with you. The Springer. When I was growing up, a buddy of mine had a male Springer named Lucky. We had a female Springer, and you guys have told stories about her on this program, Megan Marie, the best girl in the whole world. We bred the two of them, both purebred Springers. Lucky did a nice job. He and Megan Marie produced some cute puppies, and we sold them, and it was a wonderful thing. But then Lucky died a couple years later. He always rode around in the back of the pickup, and he was always very well behaved back there. One day, 60-some miles per hour, he just jumped out of the damn thing, and he died.
Yep. We see that a lot, jumping out of windows. I've had a dog that's jumped out of an airplane before.
What?
Yeah, survived.
I got to hear this.
One of those, over at Flying Cloud Airport, people have the
Like a
private
Cessna or something?
Yes, and it jumped out as it was taking off.
Oh, my gosh.
And
it survived.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I lived in a townhouse, and it was one of those that's like super small but straight up, right? So it's like 3 levels but tiny, like a room and a half fit on each level. On the second level, I had the windows open, and I had a lab at the time, and he jumped right through the screen and started. He was completely fine.
Typical labs.
But I didn't realize I wasn't home, and I just ran to the store and I came back, and one of my neighbors was like, "Your dog's outside." I'm like, "How the heck is that possible?"
Did he fall a story?
He jumped a story.
Yeah.
And so the screen's gone, and so I think he jumped right out the window because I locked the doors and stuff.
Anything wrong with him when you
No,
found
he
him?
was totally fine. He was too dumb to get hurt, I think.
But that's so interesting.
Crazy cats too. I mean, they can jump from like stories and just walk out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Totally
have
fine.
that limpness to them or
Yeah.
whatever. That's so interesting that you bring up the Lucky thing, where you recommend people don't name their pets Lucky because there's usually a friggin' terrible ending. Did you not answer the second half of the question? What was the second half of the question?
Most overrated dog breed.
Well, I'll probably get in a lot of trouble for this. I would say 2. Doodles, right? Golden doodles, Labradoodles. Those are the big ones. The other one is Bernese Mountain Dogs.
Yeah.
They are. I think they're being bred too much. We're seeing different versions of them, and Doodles and Bernese Mountain Dogs. I know they're beautiful dogs, but
A little
they're
overrated.
Everybody has one of those doodle dogs now. Like, whatever different variety it is.
Yeah,
but-
all of them. Woodle, Schnoodle.
Yeah.
Dana, have you gone to the dog park with your dog, Charlie?
No, I haven't.
Try going there on a busy day and call him and see how many dogs. 7 dogs will come running when you say Charlie.
Well, I feel bad for Charlie. He's getting dragged here today. We said that his name is overdone, and then we also just ripped Schnoodles, in which he is a Schnoodle. So Charlie's just getting it from all angles today. Poor guy just catching strays.
Just put him down, for Christ's sake.
I like the really funny ones, like Doc Marbles, and like the people that name their dogs really goofy names.
You do? You like those?
Pancake, and I actually really love. I have a girlfriend who names her dog like human names: Steve, Kevin. Those are good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know a dog named Kevin.
I have fun with that. Well, I like the human names. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Dr. Andrea Johnston, German Animal Hospital, sitting in here with us this morning, taking your questions. I got a text message seeking your thoughts on pet psychics, animal communicators. Have you heard any cool... What's your thoughts on them first? And if you've heard any cool success stories or anything
I'm sorry.
when it comes to pet psychics.
Before you answer that question, okay,
Yeah.
pet psychics, and you're a veterinarian. How many years of school did you go to be an expert on pets?
Oh, yeah, exactly. So,
By the look on your face, that's what I thought.
I know, right? So 4 years of undergrad, 4 years of vet school, and then a year internship. So
Okay.
9 years,
9
right?
years.
Yeah. So, So when I have a client come in and say, my dog was told by the pet whisperer, my dog told the pet whisperer that he's not feeling well.
The dog told the pet whisperer that the dog is not feeling
I
well.
have had a handful of those.
Okay, right.
Or like his head hurts.
His head hurts.
Or his leg hurts, or he's depressed, things like that. I have had those before. I mean, you take it with a grain of salt.
Okay.
I mean,
Have you ever had a situation where like, oh my goodness, they nailed it?
never.
Never?
Sorry, but never.
So the pet psychic said this was wrong with the dog, and you found that it was completely different.
Yes. Well, or it's just kind of like, really? Is that really a thing? I don't know.
No. Hey, your opinion is valuable.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I've always had my questions about pet or any kind of psychic, of course.
Yeah.
I've had my doubts.
Motocross 492 Jesus, back to something you said about a pet named Lucky. He had a goldfish named Lucky who was also hit by a car. He said, He said it was very sad.
That is very unlucky.
That
I don't
is
know how the hell
very,
that's
very unlucky.
Love it.
All right, how about a cat with a bad tooth? A cat with a bad tooth. He's in a lot of pain. More or less, the listener wants to know what kind of cost
Yeah.
they're looking at. People can get their teeth pulled for around $200. What about this cat with the bad tooth that's got to come out?
Usually in a cat, if you go in there and you find one tooth, there's others. They get this. They get this condition called resorptive lesions, and it's a genetic condition where the tooth is almost being eaten away and kind of dissolving into the bone, exposing the pulp canal and nerves. So a lot of times, if I take X-rays, I'll find many. So I would plan for a hefty bill if you're going to move forward with that. Unfortunately,
Uh-oh.
It's
That doesn't sound good.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
And
What are your options there? Like, can you just ignore it? Or what do you do?
You go in and pull the tooth. I mean, if there's financial limitations, you manage with pain meds and antibiotics. It's not ideal, but cats are pretty
That's too
tough.
bad.
They're tough.
Yep.
What about this? My lab mix recently has been losing hair on the top side of her paws, likely from licking, they wonder. It seems to have subsided, but curious what the potential cause could be. Allergies, yeast, food. They applied some anti-yeast cream to the paws, which did seem to help.
Yeah, typically it's allergies, especially this time of year. I'm still seeing a ton of it. Maybe not after yesterday, but with the frost and the snow. But I have had dogs lick their paws to the point they've caused a yeast infection. So it's like cause and effect kind of thing. So it could be both. Mm-hmm.
We have a neutering question about a mini dachshund. Nick, you're familiar.
Oh, sure.
Okay, so I have mini dachshund. They're prone to back injuries. I've heard neutering them a little later in life allows their body to develop and their backs become stronger. Is there any truth, or should I, quote, just cut his balls off now? From 5 More Feet of Fury.
God help us.
Ouch. What I will say is it has changed over the past couple of years that they're recommending waiting to neuter your dog longer than 18 months to 2 years, because they've found that the longer you wait to neuter, the lower the risk of them having tendon injuries like ACL tears. I'm not sure there's any studies out there in terms of back disease and that, but there's no harm at this point in waiting. Unless the dog starts mounting, marking in the house, or is aggressive, then I would get the dog neutered.
Then you do that? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that dachshund for 19 damn years. He never had a back issue. I mean, he was tough, I guess. And we used to wrestle. He would jump on the couch, and I would lay on the floor, and he would deliver what he called the 5-star dog splash. He won a lot of hardcore matches. I know in your past visits, Dr. Andrea, we've talked about things like when your dog eats chocolate and this and that stuff can be very dangerous. Have we covered this yet? We got a guy here that texted in and said he gave his damn pit bull pot gummies.
Ooh, boy. We talked about that.
Did we?
Yeah. I mean, they just have to work through it. But they have classic symptoms when they come in. They have a low heart rate. They're stoned, right?
Yeah.
So they are out of it, but there's nothing you can do to reverse it. A lot of times we'll induce vomiting if it happened recently, but usually they've come in because they've gotten into the brownies in the son's bedroom and stuff like that.
God.
And the parents don't know.
Was this on purpose? You said
Yes.
gave him.
In this particular case, his pit bull won't calm down for his nail trims. Not a lot of dogs enjoy that.
Yeah.
So he said he gave him some pot gummies.
So I would
never do that.
CBD gummies, yes, that is a legit thing for dogs, but not with the THC in it. That's where the risk is.
Okay.
I think there's other safer sedatives you could use to.
Yeah, I'm sure there are many
your dog's
safer
nails.
sedatives.
Yeah,
than-
some Benadryl too. That's an option.
We use a lot of trazodone. We use a lot of gabapentin, a lot of sedation medications.
Yeah.
But
I don't think
THC
I'd ever
worries
give my
me.
dog something that came in a bag with a pot leaf on it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Never.
They said the dog was high for 7 hours.
Oh my gosh, that's stressed out puppy.
Oh my gosh.
God dang. Dr. Andrea, a listener wants to know if you can say Weimaraner 3 times real fast.
Oh boy, I used to have one of those. Ooh. Weimaraner, Weimaraner, Weimaraner.
Yeah,
that was good.
How was a Weimaraner as a pet?
They're crazy, but they're beautiful. They're just bonkers.
Are those skinny racing dogs?
Those are greyhounds.
Oh,
These are,
okay.
They're like the silver ones. They call them the
Beautiful
Don't
blue
they have
eyes.
webbed,
Yeah.
webbed paws? Is that a Weimaraner or is that something else?
I think their paws are webbed.
No
because
They can I thought it was, they're super good swimmers.
They can swim
really
like
cool.
a damn
Unique.
dolphin.
Shih Tzu. 5-pound Shih Tzu ate a couple of white chocolate chips a couple ounces of white chocolate chips last night. Should I be concerned? Seems okay, but a little more hyper than normal.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. It's probably the sugar. It's the cocoa. It's like the dark, unsweetened chocolate is the risk.
That's
So,
the bad one?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Also, PSA, you can call Pet Poison Hotline anytime, and you pay like a minimal fee, and you read the ingredients over the phone of what your dog or cat got into, and they will give you a full treatment plan or tell you if it's a toxin or not.
That could be really
I didn't know there was such a
for
thing.
me.
And then they give you a case number, and if you come into the vet, I can call them and chat with them as to their recommendations on the toxicity, because there's so many things that are toxic
That's
that
so
you don't
cool.
know.
You can just call them up. That could be really useful.
I'm really excited for this next subject because I have some personal experience with this. Has everyone here heard of dog TV?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. My friggin' wife has actually put this on the television at our house. Dr. Andrea, dog TV?
Yeah.
You've seen it?
Yep. There's some vet clinics that actually like air it on a screen in the rooms.
It's hilarious.
In the waiting room.
Okay. Does this actually help a dog? Let me just tell you my experience with it. Just recently, the friggin' wife found this channel, and she thought she'd leave it on the television when we're gone for long stretches of time. So the cutest dog in Hennepin County, Gertie, will be occupied somehow. And I found it really interesting because you can select different categories. You can select calming, if you need your dog to be calmer, or playtime or something like that. I noticed that the coloring is a little different on dog TV, maybe catering to what colors dogs can see and cannot. I cannot friggin' believe that this exists. But it does. If you turn it on, let's say you want your dog to be playful, there'll be video of dogs playing with each other, and every once in a while a voice in the distance will go, "Good boy," or "Good girl." This stuff is crazy. So does this stuff actually work, I guess?
I would think so. I think it's hard for them to like really, you see dogs barking at the TV when they hear another dog barking. It's hard for them to, correlate that it's on the TV versus actually real life.
Yeah.
I think there's some truth to it.
Yeah.
What does Gertie do? Does she get excited?
She's noticed a few times.
Okay.
She'll look up at the TV and be like, holy balls, what's going on up there?
Yeah.
Not all the time, but she does notice because of the noises and this and that, and she recognizes there's a dog on. Josh, I would love to hear how your friggin', what do you call those things you got again?
Dogs?
No.
Great Danes.
The specific brand?
Yeah.
I would be interested in how your Great Danes would respond
They
to
don't
that.
pay any attention to TV.
Oh,
Well, but
really?
neither did Gertie until we turned on dog TV.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Is it like
There's
with...
got to be something to it. I don't know what they put behind it. Some subliminal messaging or something.
I was just going to ask. Yeah, I was going to ask about that. Like with cartoons, I didn't, as a kid, I didn't really think about it, but as a parent, all of a sudden, every commercial break, your kid's asking for cereal and toys. So is Gertie asking for more toys or different food or anything like that?
She's got enough of that garbage around the house. But,
Safety. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting, and it might even be on the TV when I get home today.
Safety Third Jesus brought his dog to get her yearly comprehensive and got a dirty look and a polite suggestion that he switched, he put polite in parentheses, that I switch from grain-free to regular food because grain-free is not good for dogs. Can you have the doc explain why it's bad?
Yes, this is a big one. So the USDA, the FDA came out with a big warning about grain-free foods, specifically high-end boutique dog foods. And the reason why is dogs need to process grain for heart health. So it's deficient in a specific amino acid called taurine, and it's creating a condition called grain-free cardiomyopathy. I've sent like a good 6-ish dogs down to the cardiologist at the U for this issue.
Really?
And you can't supplement taurine. You can't just give a pill. They have to get it through the food. They have to process it.
And this is from like the fancier, more expensive foods?
Yeah, so even ones that say they have, a lot of those more expensive foods say that like quinoa is the grain or like oatmeal, but it's not a true grain, so they're not getting what they need. So yes, grain-free is great. Yep.
Getting some response here on text message about dog TV, and quite a few German Shepherd owners are saying that their dogs are very dialed into dog TV. People are telling us there's also cat TV. I haven't tried that one yet.
Cats don't care.
I had a German Shepherd, and she was obsessed with TV.
Yeah, I
she
feel like
hated horses.
That guard dog behavior, they're a little bit more alert. Maybe?
Oh, yeah. My dog loves TV, and what he spends most of his time doing is either looking at the TV or staring out the window to protect the house. Yeah.
Your dog, Josh, would react to horses on television?
Oh, she hated them. And
I get it.
We have a big scratch on our TV. And I mean, she's passed now 4 years ago. But we have a huge scratch on our TV because she jumped up to tell a horse, "I hate your guts."
She finally said, "Look, there's only room in this house for one of us."
It was weird how mad she'd get at horses.
That's so awesome because she is like a dog horse.
Yeah, pony.
A lot of our listeners are saying their dogs watch dog TV and their cats watch cat TV. Dr. Andrea, do dogs and cats experience dementia?
Yes.
They do.
Absolutely.
No.
I have this conversation more often these days than I have in a long time. But yeah, they hit a certain age where they get sundowner syndrome. So their sleep-wake cycle gets off, so they're up pacing in the middle of the night, confused. They can't hear and see as well, so they're anxious and vulnerable. They'll stand and stare at walls. Absolutely.
Oh, Ashley's going to cry over here.
It's really sad, but it is a conversation I have a lot.
Okay.
A lot.
What do you do? Anything? Is there anything you can do?
A lot of times we'll use sleep agents, to help them sleep through the night. Sometimes melatonin will help get their sleep-wake cycle back, but
Wouldn't that be something if there was a dog old folks home?
Oh my gosh, I would work there. Actually, I don't know if I could.
They're all
There'd be a
playing.
lot of.
You can't see through all the tears, what you're doing.
Yeah. Is there a breed that that happens to more than others?
no, I mean, I see it across the board.
Darn it.
Ashley, here's the thing. If one of your dogs gets old enough to where it's just sitting and staring into a corner, you just go there and stare into the corner with her.
I would. I totally
You just
would.
put an arm around her, just like you do your grandma or something, and say,
I'm gonna cry.
and you just say, Grandma, it'll all be over soon. And
As you slowly choke her to death.
Great release is coming.
That's what I was picturing.
Garbage Man Jesus wants to know, what kind of human food can I give my dog at Thanksgiving?
Wow.
They want the dog to be able to celebrate.
Good question.
Isn't that great? We're all celebrating.
So the day after Thanksgiving, we see a ton of GI issues and pancreatitis, all that high-fat, buttery food. I would avoid all of it, honestly.
Okay. You're
Maybe
asking
some
for
green
diarrhea.
beans without butter. Yeah, you're asking for.
Oh.
Yeah.
Green beans without butter.
Yum. Nice treat for the morning.
Before you cook them up.
We got to get going, but we always appreciate your visits
you're great.
and all
Thank
your
you. Of
expertise.
Thank you.
Dr. Andrea Johnston, you have to now. You have to go have a wonderful Thanksgiving yourself.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah, we will, and we will see you soon.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Oh, is that all the things they get for the native hot sex?
Here we go. We're back on the Half-Assed Morning Show. Tomorrow is our big day. It's our flipping, I don't know, Josh, 25th, 6th, 7th, some odd annual
23.
Toys for Tata's Toy Drive at Rick's Cabaret Gentlemen's Club in downtown Minneapolis, 6 a.m. The doors get kicked open. Bring an unwrapped new toy for a kid who could use a nice Christmas. We know our listeners would never let us down. You bring in that toy, you get free admission, free food, and the lovely ladies of Rick's Cabaret will be wall-to-wall wearing very little. 3 of them are here this morning to say hello. Happy holidays, ladies. We're talking to Cherry Bomb.
Hello.
Hello, Cherry Bomb. BB Gun.
Hi.
Hello.
And Cleo.
Good morning.
Morning.
And Jerome.
Oh. Yeah. Whatever.
Say hello again, Jerome. Hello.
What's up, Jerome?
We got something for everybody. We got something for everybody.
My wife perked up, I can tell you that.
Yeah. Are you excited for the longest day of our lives?
Oh, yeah. I look forward to it every single year.
Every single year. I'm so excited.
That's awesome.
I
Man.
accidentally slept through it last year and showed up at about 4 p.m., so I'm excited to be there right at 6 this
You
year.
just stayed asleep?
No, I got so anxious the night before because it was going to be my first Tatas ever that I ended up not going to bed until like 1 in the morning and then just crashed.
Yeah, first day of school vibes for sure.
Now,
That can happen, yeah.
unfortunately, some people can't make it due to work schedules. So Double D's Sheezus wants to know, do you provide, quote, doctor's notes if they want to get out of work? And you do something like that for them? Maybe provide an alibi of some sort.
Oh, definitely. I totally will. I'll sign whatever you need. I got you.
I legally cannot disclose whether or not I will do that.
I got good handwriting.
That's key when you're forging a note, good handwriting.
Now, Hot Librarian Sheezus has checked in and said, well, hello, Jerome.
Hello to you back.
I'm telling you, a little bit of everything. So I know for a fact Cherry Bomb has been involved in Tatas before. Cleo, been involved before. But this will be your first BB gun.
Yes, I will be
Okay.
there. I'm going to make it happen.
I'm going to drag her out of bed. Whether she
Literally
likes it
by
or
the
not.
ankle.
And well, when you showed up at 4 p.m. last year, was there still a pretty good crowd?
There was a great amount of dancers still there.
Yeah. There was dancers there.
Yeah.
We over the hill hard rock types maybe had cleared out by 4 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, it's dinner time.
I can believe that. Cleo or help me, Cherry Bomb. Any fond memories of past Tatas you'd like to share with us?
Doing doubles on stage with my girl Cherry.
Hang on a sec. Get the mic right up in your face there.
Doing doubles on stage with Cherry for sure.
Doubles.
Yeah, at about once, like, drinks are served, our first stage set after that, we do them together. And we are doubles partners. We've been doubles partners since we met, and she's the only person I trust on the pole with me.
Because as we know from past stories from you, Cherry Bomb, accidents can happen on the pole.
Oh, yeah, as you guys know, accidents
Yes.
happen with me. I
What a-
keep getting them.
They keep
More
happening
things
to
just
you?
keep happening.
More things since last time?
Yeah,
She's broken.
randomly in February, my intestines collapsed.
Oh.
For no reason. According to 7 specialists, they don't know why. What? It just happened.
All right, this is incredible. If this is your first time hearing Cherry Bomb on the show, a few years ago, she told us this horrific story of falling off of the pole, upside down, backwards. You cracked yourself in half. It was miserable.
Yeah, and ended up having a stroke. It was awful.
You had a stroke. I forgot that part of it.
It's okay.
Now, recently, tell us again what happened
In February, randomly, I just started getting really sick, and I go into the hospital, and then they check me in for about 10 days because randomly my intestines collapsed. And according to the doctors, the way they collapsed only happens in children, and they're like, we don't know why it happened to you. It kind of just fixed itself.
You do not have any sort of luck.
Oh, yeah, no. With health, no luck. But also, nothing's killed me yet, so can I really die?
You're immortal. It's like a cat, 9 lives.
Great way to look at it.
We'll find out tomorrow.
That is truly fascinating. Truly fascinating. So, at the very least, let's say Cherry Bomb completely ignores you tomorrow, gentlemen. Anyone in our listening audience, if she ignores you because you look like you're broke, at least maybe she can tell you one of her war stories in passing.
100%.
By the way, do we all look like we have enough money to keep your attention tomorrow, or we look kind of broke, don't we, Josh?
Yeah, probably.
We're in the studio.
I was going to say, generally, the people who come into the club looking the most normal spend the most money.
Okay.
So you're looking for like a pair of Nike 401s. You're looking for like the New Balances. You're looking for socks up to the knee.
They got grass stains on the shoes.
That's very
champions.
Nike 401s are those aren't cool.
No. They are for us. We love them.
Yeah, those are the dudes who will spend like 3 hours.
Really?
I'm glad I brought it up. That's really interesting. So the dudes that walk in who are like all flash.
They're all flash.
Usually, if they're all flash, they're not a lot of cash.
Okay. Remember, write that down.
They spent all their money
All
on the flash already.
Yeah,
so
they're
there's
flash
not
in the
much more
pan.
for them.
They spent all their money on their outfit.
On the flash.
They've got none for the girls.
Nothing.
But your average looking schmuck, those are the guys that might have some stamina.
Your Forrest Gumps, yeah.
Absolutely. The more somebody looks like they just came from mowing their lawn.
Yeah.
That's
Grass stains.
Yep.
Well, you're going to see a lot of those tomorrow. You're going to see a lot. Forrest Gump types, I heard.
That's so
good.
awesome.
Oh, yeah, we love Forrest Gump. If you look flashy, you're probably just flashing me your rent. If you're flashy, you're trash.
That's great. That's
You
great
guys got a
information.
saying for everything.
Bits
That's
for
us.
days.
Jerome, what's going on with you, man?
This is my 3rd Tatas I've been working there.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a long one. So I'm here 8:30 in the morning with my lovely entertainment. So we're just having a good time at this point. So I'm barely alive. I'm here.
You know, Joe, we're getting texts from people that went to high school with you.
This happens a lot. Hey, guys, I'm here. You know, this is another story of what I do for a job.
Is that right?
People are texting in saying they recognize Jerome's voice. They went to high school with him.
Yeah, and one person said they found out where he worked and decided that's where he had his bachelor party. I don't know if that does anything for you.
Yep. That happens a lot. What's up, bro? Hey, Sean, I'm pretty sure that's you.
You have a really good radio voice, Jerome.
Yeah, you do. You've got a smooth
Beautiful.
delivery. Do you want to talk about your alma mater? You want to shout out where you went to high school or not?
Shout out to Armstrong.
Armstrong.
Oh, okay.
09, I've been there.
All right.
Did you say 09?
09, brother, yes.
Oh, my
God
goodness.
dang.
93.
Just a young buck,
Dude,
man.
2016.
2017.
2017?
Me too. 2017.
Yeah, same with that.
Yeah.
That's when you got GED.
2014.
2013.
13, 14, 17, 9.
2011.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We have to retire after this, Josh.
I know. Now, I wonder, like, did you kind of feel sorry for us when you walked in? Like, oh, look at these guys.
Well, you were probably up earlier than we were, so yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. Your honesty is both biting and admiring.
Yeah. No, I walked in being like, maybe they'll get an hour with me tomorrow.
Oh. So Cleo said we look like we got up a lot earlier than they did.
I didn't say you look like.
Oh, well, it's obvious that not tomorrow, though. Tomorrow, we're all getting up really friggin' early.
Yeah.
Tonight I want to take a nap. I want to spend the night at the club. I want to bring like an air mattress, fall asleep in the dressing room, so that way I cannot miss it tomorrow.
That's what I've heard, though. I've heard that's a regular thing. Is that not true?
Yeah, we tried that before, and trust me, I'd done it one time, and I would never do it again.
Oh, yeah. Not good?
I just got a hotel down the street now.
Yeah, no, I'm taking a Z-Quil at like 8 p.m. tonight to knock out to be up.
Yup.
Turning in early.
Z-Quil, that'll do it. All right, we got to get going, but we thank Cleo, BB Gun, and Cherry Bomb, and Jerome from coming in from Rick's Cabaret. Tomorrow, 6 a.m., the doors open. We're very excited about it. We always appreciate the relationship we have with Rick, so we'll see you tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen.
Bring your ass.
Yes, thank you again.
Bring your ass.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Retired FedEx Jesus, he texted in a shout-out to his wife, Tammy. She's going into surgery today, so get well soon to you, Tammy. Happy 41st to Pothead Scorpio Jesus, and happy 55th to Greg from your hot-loving mama.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93X.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Winter's arrived, and with the holidays around the corner, it's the perfect time for Standard Heating's Black Friday Comfort Countdown specials. And right now is the time to become a Smart Club member and get your furnace in top shape before winter comes. Visit standardheating.com today. Comfort you deserve since 1930.